Hello, what's up? Welcome, welcome. I actually didn't get a chance to see any of the games today. My coworker left early. So I'm kind of on a blank. I didn't even get to see any of the China series, which upset me. But I'll probably spoil myself. It's tough, because once you fall behind, you fall behind. It's not even funny. No spoilers? I'll probably spoil myself after I warm up. Then we can talk about it. But it'll be very hard for me to apply anything critical. Because I just hadn't seen the game. I mean, I'll try to... I mean, stats don't tell the whole picture. They're not the worst to miss. Ooh, tough, tough, tough. All good, eh? I still like analyzing, so even if they're terrible, boring games, I'm down. Or even stomps. Hey, what's up, Raven? You had a headache? Ah, I see, I see. I had one in the beginning, took a red pill, like a red circular pill, and then I was better in like 2 hours, but I had to like move like around. Like I drank a shit ton of water and like paced the fuck out of the like office floor. Yeah, we're clicking dots. Happy dot clicking, everyone. I hope everyone in this call right now is doing this daily before they play their games and after they play their games. Unless you feel unwell, because I am not exempt from that either. Because I just felt unwell yesterday. I didn't do it. Yo, what's up? Holy dude, I look away to do a task and a minute later y'all are dropping bombs. Yo, what's good, Xog? Liga versus Foot was a game? Ah. You stayed home. I did not do comp yesterday, no. I played a visual novel game and a puzzle game. That's all I did. Escalation in Swift? What's that timing out to? 6:15. I mean, it's fine. Within 15 minutes. To warm up. You don't have to do an aim labs routine either. However you get your warm up in, that's good enough for me. I did do a DM waiting for the group to do a Swift play. Did a Swift play and I fucked off. I didn't play any more Valorant. I am a big advocate of if you are feeling sick, you should rest first and foremost, or at least don't do anything intensive. For example, I played a puzzle game and a visual novel, so I wasn't trying to click heads or WASDA around. I speedrun that puzzle game though. I promise you that if I knew the third level was the easiest, I would have started with it. Get my feet wet. Then again, I guess I kind of I got the flow of it. Maybe the first level was hard because it's been a while since I dropped the puzzle game. My puzzle intellect brain was like, hold your horses there, you haven't done it in a while. And by the time I got to it, it was like, oh, wait a minute. You know. Unfortunately, I don't know how to hold a crosshair with that. Oh god, you guys are so fast. Without assumption. Top 350 in league, 60R in Valve. Hey. That means you're on that. What? If you're getting that much LP, it's probably your hidden must be super high. Unlock Clove? Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go. Trying so hard. Yeah. No, the puzzle was intense because, like, they treated it like a horror game. So I just played a horror puzzle game out of fuck all nowhere. Chants of Sennaar? I have not played Chants of Sennaar. That's a new one to me. That is news to me. I have not played that. Mine was Escape. Together 3. Not Together. Escape. Something to. Hold on. I can pull up my Steam. What I play? What was it? It is Escape First 3, the multiplayer edition. It was alright. The puzzles were fun. Weeklies. Yeah, you're close. 140, you're close. Like Iron 5. Hey, you got 10 wins in a row. We take those. That means you're better than everyone. Your hidden MMR just sucks. I misread your last one. I thought you were like Escape First, Rule 34. I'm like, how the fuck do you Rule 34 a puzzle game, man? I know it's possible, but come on. But no, 3 makes sense. No, most of my games aren't horror based, I think. Let me check. Here, I'll run through the list. On Steam, I'm also, I guess I'll count, we'll add Alan Wake 2, because I'm currently playing it, to the list. So Alan Wake 2. Aim Labs, Belantro, Fallout 3, Fear of Hunger, and Fear of Hunger 2 Termina, The Finals, Krita, Outlast Trials, that's horror, Pal World, The Room, that's a puzzle, Scarlet Hollow, visual horror, Slay the Princess, visual horror, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, I just getting my ass beat simulator, Class of 09, visual novel, Curious Cases, Escape horror, Danganronpa series, I think that's visual novel / horror. Escape First Alchemist, another puzzle, Experiment Escape, puzzle, Final Fantasy, yeah, RPG, Holokira, oh, it's like a roguelike? Eh? Gels Marble League, Marble Simulator, I love that, I play that a lot. Lethal Company, that's horror. Muse Dash, Rhythm, Mori, that's horror. Portal 2, puzzle. Siren's Call, visual. Tales of Escape, game, The Test, Hypothetical Rising, horror, that's it. Oh, Ultra Go. Vicarium? What the fuck is Vicarium? Hold on, I'm derailing myself. I was looking at content warning earlier. And because I know people will play that. Vicarium. Fuck is this? $20 USD. Okay. This looks really cute. That looks really cute. Oh my, actually, wait, that looks really good. You might be hand drawn by an indie. I mean, that's true. That seems good though. I mean, this looks cool. I was getting Fran Bow vibes, but I guess it looks more like on the puzzle side than on the horror side, which I can mess with. Wow. Yeah, this does look hand drawn. That's actually insane. What was your other? What was it? Kansas Star. Another 20. You just love spending $20 on games. What? What? Recommended or similar to Little Nightmares? Oh god. Wait, it's a Decipher game? Oh, fuck off with that shit. No, I'm not even judging, by the way. If I can't, I'm not. It's just funny that $20 gets you, like, it just gets you. If I make a game for $20 and like a decent aesthetic, I got you. Hook, line, and sinker. Yeah, it is probably it's some Valorant skin. I don't know what skin it would be, but it is definitely comparable to a Valorant skin, and I definitely have everyone beat in that regard. But instead, I get a skin I use for maybe a game, and you get a game that you play for hours. I have a lot of those. Has a good soundtrack. I'm now fluent in 4 make-believe languages. Fuck yeah. Yeah, apparently the OST was really, really good. You can just get the whole thing. Get the bundle and get the music with it too for $24.90. That seems pretty good. That seems pretty good. I mean, it looks sick. I would absolutely lose my shit though. I would absolutely lose my shit. 4 languages. Gotta learn to decipher them. Yeah, I saw. Good God, I wouldn't be able to. But it's sick that it's based off of Babel. I do love learning. Do I love learning like 4 languages? I'm struggling with 2. My English and Japanese both suck already. So it's like I'm adding fuel to the fire on that one. I'll think about it. I'll add it to my wish list. I mean, I got a couple of games on standby. There ain't no way I'm getting out of it with this one. I still got. I think I can beat the re-up. Ah, heavy disc. I'm down. I can wait for a Steam sale. Spend my money. I never wait for a sale actually. I'm the type of guy who I see a game I like, I just go and buy it. Yeah. Yeah, the summer sale is probably the closest. Or they'll have like little mom and pop sales in between now and then too. I am an impulsive spender. I don't know how I let this happen to myself, but here we are. Normally I can just get over not spending money, but it's probably bad that I can pull out my wallet and just spend money, which I shouldn't do. Hence why I bought Baldur's Gate, despite the fact that I need to beat like 12 other games that all have like 20+ hour requirements into them. So I have like legions upon legions of gameplay to go through. And I'll start a game, get like, I don't know, maybe like 30 to an hour in, and I don't touch them in forever. And I think that's probably really bad. And there's no way I'm beating every single game I have before I play Baldur's Gate. That's just impossible to my mind. Because on the list are a couple Fallout games, a couple Danganronpa games. It is not looking good. Waiting for the night market? Yeah, about 5 days. Yeah, somewhere soon. Don't worry, my night market will be good and I still won't spend the money because I made a promise. Although, I probably should make more promises about my money. But, eh. I'll live and die with the consequences I've wrought. All I get paid to do is think about Valorant, that's it. I mean, actually, no, I don't, but still. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to, like... I need to be one of those people who leave the computer and go outside. Need to be one of those people who live, eat, and breathe Valorant at some point. Because right now I don't. There's actually many times in the day where I'm not consuming Valorant content. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe not. Hey, a Frenzy skin. We buy the Frenzy skin. Yeah. You love the Frenzy. And if you don't love the Frenzy, you'll learn to love it. I'm forcing you to. It is 55. Got my notification to practice Valorant. Which may or may not come today. We'll see. Depends on how long it takes for me to do the Sentinel run through. I will say I did prep myself very, very well today for that. No, you won't. Yeah, okay. If you Frenzy only or Classic only, you'll drop for sure. All the people who do the Sheriff only, or Classic only to Immortal, they're all. It's annoying. The only thing that teaches you is how to properly use the gun and how to take advantage of, like, bad players. If you have, like, the mechanical skill of an Immortal player. That's all those series teach you. And it's like, okay. But yeah, if you do any sort of challenge, you'll lose. Hardcore. Guaranteed. You're like, oh, Outlaw only challenge. Why am I 5 and 17? Eventually, you will get better with the Outlaw. I mean, that will happen. As a consequence of using, like, an only gun, you will get better with it. I'm not focused right now. Hold on. Here. I need my eyes to refocus. No, you can't slander my DMs. Don't slander those. I wouldn't tell you in DMs to do that anyway. I'd tell it to, like, a live studio audience of 10,000 people. If I wanted to ruin your chances of, like, climbing, oh, I would do it in front of people. I would not do that in private. And I hope you would all do the same to me. Like, if I'm analyzing something or going over something and I obviously make a mistake, I want you to reinforce it. Could be the new meme of my channel where I make a mistake, call myself out for it, and everyone is just like, no, not a mistake. It's actually optimal. Frenzy is awesome. Yeah, it is. It's great. Great gun. I appreciate the Frenzy. I used it a lot when I was practicing initiators because Fade likes to buy it a lot. Or the buy matches up more than a Ghost does. No, yeah, that's definitely more correct. Whenever I say, no, that's foolish. I would never make a YouTube video and link it to you. I wouldn't even make the video. my schedule, I'm too much of a perfectionist to want to make videos like the coaching videos, which I might eventually, but for right now, it's like I could make it so easy on myself, but I don't want to. I want like a fully drawn artwork by me. I don't want to commission art. I want to draw my thumbnail. I want to make my I'm giving up on the music part. I don't know. Well, I'll give up on making my own music unless I find like a cheap enough like keyboard to do it, and then I'll do it. But if not, then it's fine. I'll give up on that dream. Because nothing's flashy. Whenever I'm editing, it's just like whatever I think is necessary for you to learn and grow, or for like a general audience of people to learn and grow. That's like the recipe of how I make a video. Oh yeah, your op ace. The op ace on split. Classic moment. Very classic. That ended up being a glitch pop. I was wondering if Riot would ever put out like data of like how much the player base owns like what percentage of skins. Just to see as like the ultimate popularity contest. Like I know they will never release that sort of information because I'm sure that'll eventually show like the money they're making and shit like that, and I'm sure they'll never want to show that because that doesn't make sense. No, I'll actually cut dead time. Don't get me wrong, I put effort. I do put effort. I try my best to look like I'm trying. But I could imagine, just imagine, dude. Like you get a raw, like I just trim the ends and it's just the raw VOD. Oh god. Salad's bringing up the Unicorn Vomit skin series again. Dragon Frenzy? I mess with the Dragon Frenzy. I don't have it. I mean, I went, you know what I have. I actually went through all of them, but the Dragon Frenzy is pretty cool. Yeah. Here, let me see what money I'm not spending today. Well, sure. Sure on the bundles. Sure. I don't know why I'm getting ready while I'm warming up, because I'm about ready to give a presentation. Shorty? Nah. I got the best shorty skin in the game. Araxis.
Match found.
Prelude. And Viper's shorty. Of course, Sideshow's seen Mean Girls. I'm sure he's seen it a billion times too. That'd be really funny though.
Deathmatch. Warm up.
Yeah, it was the first one I got because I was a dedicated Viper main. I was actually a heathen.
Deep breaths, everyone. Your
All right,
hearts are
we're gonna make sure my eyes are focused today, by the way.
for you, hermanita.
Blamau. Okay, eyes are focused. I saw him, but by God, I did not react to him.
You're nothing.
Oh. Fuck me. No, stop it, dude. You gonna glitch pop? Yeah. The Chamber Classic? Ah, fair. I work during the eclipse, so I'll be out.
Poor Rich.
My boss was really interested, so he got a bunch of those sunglasses. And so we're probably all just gonna watch it. You really do need a truck up though.
Four dead.
You didn't take it off?
Cypher bed.
There. I recognize that. That if I take it off, I'm gonna feel really bad about it. Wow, I was just mega dead there. Cool.
Shoot. Insect. Enough.
10 kills remaining.
Don't resist. Pathetic.
Haha, get fucked. It's from YouTube. I don't even know what song this is. Haha. Which is probably a bad thing. Sure, this angle sucks, yeah? Yeah. I don't know why I'm aggressive. I don't know.
There.
I actually don't know.
5 kills remaining.
I don't know why I'm like, Baha! Every time, like. Yeah, I get that there. Bro is hitting me with this. You never know. This swings up. Oh, that would have been sick. I don't know the song. I'll let you know if it's timestamped.
One kill remaining.
Here. That was the wall. Yeah, I deserve to lose that. I didn't take the fight correctly. More passion, more energy, more aggression. Alright. Do you link the songs or not? Surely you do, yeah? I mean the terms of use. I don't own any of these. I'm not claiming to own them. You say just use this. Okay, maybe I should stop. Maybe I should make my own music. The mix is just the relaxed movement. Apparently they just make a bunch of movement. Yeah, that's kind of what happened to me. I rated a streamer I actually respected, and they're like, ew, the fuck? 6 viewers, get out of here. That broke my heart. I try not to, if I don't know the individual, I try to be a little more less aggressive, I should say. I didn't say anything. Okay. Let's pull it up because we're gonna have a master class. Sort of. I don't know how this is gonna work. Yeah, I was really sad when that happened. I will not say names anymore. I won't say names because it was like, oh, made me question if I was a real human being or something. Probably. We'll keep that. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Okay. So, truth be told, I was asked. Yeah. All in the past. Fuck the past. I don't need it. Alright. So, I actually received a question. A real one, not about a frenzy. If I can talk about Sentinels, not the Valorant team, but like the role, and make sure I don't get my thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was asked to like prep people on Sentinels. That's fine. No, don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. I was also speaking very softly. I it didn't no, the music is for the vibe. It was to make it hard to understand me, so that when I'm trying to teach you something you can go huh throughout the entire lesson. All right. Okay, I'm not playing, so I don't need the mic to be a billion years away from me. Just something I actually don't like. I like it not being close to me, or I can put it right above my head, maybe. Absolutely not. All good. We'll just do this. This allows it to be like on me. So hi, welcome to the Sentinel Masterclass. I'm gonna put the display on, and you are going to like it. If I need to get rid of audio, maybe I get rid of the music so I can video this. Maybe who knows? Who knows? All right, fuck it. No music. I'll put my own music. All right. I don't want to do an intro because I'm not planning on making this a video at all. But I did want to give forewarning. So we're gonna be talking about Sentinels. I have no living idea. This is so loud. Good God. Send tears. It's so laggy. I don't know if you could see it. It's definitely more laggy on my end than yours for the impact, but it is definitely laggy. Yeah, no music. Or it allows me if I can. Yeah, the lag is possible. Sentience. Yeah, sentience is a good one. Okay, so I am going. Yeah, Valorant is super laggy. So tell you what, we're gonna do things the old-fashioned way. We are going to use Epic Pen. That is the platform I use to draw and stuff on things, and it's fast and clear and woo, bubbly. So there we go. That is how we're going to substitute that atrocious lag. I can just drag and drop if need be. Yeah, technology can get old-fashioned. There's old-fashioned technology. in digital age, sure, surely, right? Surely. Okay. So, in essence, we'll be talking about, I mean, we'll just pull up all the sentinels so we can get to them. We're going to separate them into a couple of categories, or basically two categories. I think that these are the typical sets of age. Sets for them. Where are you, KJ? Chamber, you can go like over here. There you go. Alright, fine, I won't. The only thing I really called old-fashioned nowadays is just old-fashioned oats. That's all I do. That's all I call old-fashioned. Hell, even my work has been dramatically improving. Also, don't mind if, like, heaven decides to show for no reason. Sometimes it just says fuck it, and other times, hey, I'm the focus now. Howdy. Nope. Does look like some fucking guys throwing flashes in the background. What the fuck was I on? Wait, information versus physical obstacle? What? What? Yeah, I know. Heaven's trying to take me too early, knowing damn well I'm getting sent to hell. So let's talk about the Sentinel playstyle. It's actually quite nuanced in a sense that the light is going to bug the fuck out of me. Let's ignore it. Okay. I don't remember me saying it. But then again, I was like sicking on Fruit Loops. So I don't know. I could have been talking about a myriad of different weird shit. What? Okay, yeah. I guess I can explain what these roles are. So these are your information gatherers, and these are your bastion type. To those who these sentinels thrive on getting information around the map, maintaining map control. I mean, everyone does this. That's just the sentinel role in general. But the info allows you to gather early access of what the team is doing versus what the bastion will do. The bastion will just take this space and hold it. Like they would. Like an info gatherer would. So, for example, if you throw the wall down like this as Sage, cutting them off from this B main execute, you have this map control, but you don't have info that they're there. And so some plays that can happen, half of it is just 5 people right here just waiting. You're like, hey. They won't wait like this formation, that's just bad, but you get the gist. You don't have information behind the wall, but it just cuts off utility. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like the wall function of it. It's more or less like the Sage util is... So, I guess we can go through each one individually. But these are like the typical... Or these are the definers, I would say, of what they do. And then Chamber, you're just going to call this guy Duelist Sent. Because you know that the Duelist sent this guy to be a Sentinel. So we're just going to not talk about... I mean, we're not going to talk about Chamber in terms of like the macro of what Sentinels want to do. Alright, so first step, we're going to take an in-depth look on KJ. Yay! Woo! Yeah, actually it's going to be way easier if I just use the lag part. Okay, so we're just going to go in order of how I think the agents should be played. Now, let me preface this by saying that I am an aggressive coach. I am more on the aggro side of the game versus a passive coach. More passive coaches would be individuals like Woohoojin, Worthy TV, and more aggressive coaches would be some like Dopai to an extent. And so I think I put more emphasis on having impact in the game and what you can do instead of playing quote unquote correctly. Because the Sentinel role is inherently meant to be passive. Their playstyle is very built for it, and so a lot of players develop the very bad tendencies by accentuating that passivity, and it forces them to make suboptimal plays where others would be really good. So, for example, here's a really bad KJ setup on every round except the second round. This is a really bad setup. So I think it is this setup. And I would say to you right now that this is a really bad setup for second round. I think pistol round, it's fine. You also won't be able to have two, I suppose. I guess it's an illegal setup on pistol round. Let's just say one. But yeah, this would be a traditional setup I see a lot. Some people have quantified this to be really good. I think this is really bad. I mean, this placement should be a little further up, but that's besides the point. No, it's not illegal. It's not illegal, I promise you. You see this a lot. You'll probably see me making fun of Phil KJ players on this map when they throw this information. Nanoswarms are 200 credits. Alarm bot is also 200 creds, but typically actually, yeah, you can do all, but I've seen most players opt to buy light shields with this setup. So it's not illegal. Just kidding. It's not illegal. Where are you? You can have this setup, but I would rather you buy shields. Yeah, you can buy. But traditionally, you'll buy a Harmer instead, so that it gives you most bang for your buck. Shields over util. Over Molly, yeah. On pistol round, absolutely. Shields on pistol round, and this is just general tech. This extra 25 HP on pistol round is actually insane. It's so good. It's really busted. I think you're not allowed to use the classic if you don't have it. The extra light shield is just so strong. It stops the one shot from a lot of ghosts. It's very popular buy. It allows you to survive some frenzy burst if it's like a spray into a connection, and then you can just like shoot off of that. No, you would not buy shields on most agents. I'd say agents with even to 400 credits should buy light. Like, it's just strong to do so. So common players of this are Omen, because paranoia plus smoke equals 400. KJ's another one of them. KO is not. He'd be a ghost. Gecko is not. They're not. Clove isn't. Brim isn't. Is Breach? No, 150, 300, 300. Nope. Breach is not. Yeah, Viper's another one of them. It's actually not a lot of agents, actually, admittedly. Sage is one of them. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of agents that like to do this, so that's probably why it's not super common, but these are like the big four that I can think of. I'm sure there's more, but I just don't have a very deep hero pool. Typical buys, not always. And I'm also talking even numbers. I'm trying to find agents with even numbers to 400. That's when light shields are just really good. Fake Ananas on KO will buy just full util because he's cracked with his util. And I think it's the same for Chamber. Chamber will buy full util with Headhunter. So it's very unlikely that you'll see Light Shield. I've seen KO Ghost. I've seen KO with Flash Drive, 0-point Ghost. But yeah. Anytime I make a statement, it is not a definitive one. Of course, all these agents, anyone can just buy full util at any time. Sometimes it's correct, sometimes it's not. It just depends on what they want to do with the round. But currently, we're talking about KJ. This setup is not good enough because it doesn't leverage the amount of control that she could have. Full round. I think there is two. If I had to ponder, it used to be Chamber. Chamber couldn't buy full util round 1, but that's because 8. I think every agent has the capability now to buy full util. Yeah. Yeah, Chamber literally can't, actually. Yeah. One of them. Clove can. Astra can. Breach can. 150, 150, 300. Yeah, can. Brim. 2-2. Or 2 here. 250, 200. Brim can. Clove can. Cypher can. 400, 600. Yep. How much are Astra Stars? 150 a pop. They're 150 a pop, you get one, so you can spend 450 on smokes. It's actually very cheap. Deadlock. Ooh, Deadlock. That's free. 2. I think those are 200. This is definitely... Shit, is that 200? Are these 140? Or 150? Probably not, but... Yeah, it's just very cheap. Yeah. I'm just trying to see who can't buy. I think everyone can buy. Except Chamber, of course, but fuck Chamber. Sage can 2, 2, 4. Yeah, full util is possible. Sova can 3, 4, 700. 4, 2, 600. 150, 150. Is this clone 3 or 200? I don't play Yoru. It feels like a 200 ability, but I could see it being a 300. I do play a lot of agents. The agents I do play, I do know the cost. Like Sova's, I know off rip. Sage, I know off rip. Phoenix, I know. Omen, I know. Like, if I don't know ISO's calls except this. This is 150 now. This got changed to 200. He can buy. This guy, updraft is 200. These are, I think, 150 a pop still. They might have got nerfed to 200, but still, let's buy. I have hours. I don't even have that many hours. I'm not gonna lie, but I do have hours. Raise full util. Yeah, I'm gonna check. Paint shell free. Boombots 300. Blast pack is 150 a pop. 600 total. We're chilling. Oh, you get off my sky. That's another. You have to buy 2 blind, so 150. Trailblazer is 300. Healing is 200. No, this is Trailblazer is 250, I think. 5, 700. Yeah, you can buy full. Yeah, it did used to be. Yeah, you can do raise full buy. Or raise full util shorty, but I don't recommend it as your pistol buy. Personally, I don't think shorty on pistol buy. Shorty is the best pistol in any round, but pistol round. It's still good, don't get me wrong. I think players can still use it and find success, but it's situational. Very situational. But yeah, it... Yeah, more commonly you'll see Frenzy. Jing is a psychopath. If you watch Jing, he'll buy Light Shield, double blast pack, and tell his duo to buy him a Frenzy. because he's a Chad like that. Yeah, I think everyone except Chamber can full buy. Okay. Now that I've gone on a tangent that wasn't meant to be a part of this, let's fix this. Let's fix this. Okay, so I wanted to point to this turret, and I'm curious if you all know the answer first before I even say. But where would you move this turret to get way more value? And you can say just watching something specifically. Front of B main, get deemed blind. You know it. You know it. A lot of people know this change now. Logs for the lane. You want to B main. No. You want this early utility. Because this allows you to aggressively move to a faster retake position. And it also gives you the most control of lanes that you can possibly ask for. It gives you this lane control. This lane control. And then, ideally, your team, while you're controlling 2 lanes by yourself, your team is like 4 over here, and A should be impossible. Some games it's not. Don't sue your teammates. Sometimes they have bad games. So what? But this is very strong. And I would say to have... This is what I would see. This is how I can differentiate a fill versus a main. Fills will quite frequently put the turret here on pistol round, or not just on pistol round, but on second. This is not pistol. Pistol is actually good to be like this. This is a good pistol round setup. Because it's very hard to break this turret as long as you're fighting with it. I think players who just throw this turret up for info are actually trolling because it gets info of them right here and they just come out. So people who fight with it is fine, but people who just do nothing with this turret are just afraid. But no, this is if you do this setup after pistol round, you're not good. Or you fall into this passivity that most Sentinel players fall under. And it's just better to control multiple lanes. Because that's the idea you want to do. This is like truly the role of a info gathering Sentinel. Because you're allowed to garner these level of control of these 2 lanes, it makes it really hard for the enemy to essentially take the site for free. Or it also gives your team time to rotate, do all their stuff. And it just makes controlling the map so much easier. But yeah, that does put you on the anchor role. You'll be rotating a lot less frequently. Oh my god, please. Shh, I'm sure I spelled that wrong. Yeah, not quite. I figured not quite. Whatever, it's fine. I'm going to get fired eventually. I'll eventually get fired. No, because it's this. Hold on, give me a sec. I get it right on the second attempt every time, but this should be your mindset when you first load into the game. Hey, there we go. I beat it to you. Yes, I can fix my errors very quickly. I'll have to edit my stuff before I send it out. Anywho, this is the main playstyle that you will see. But specifically of our info gatherer sentinels, this advice I'm giving to KJ is the same advice I'll give to Cypher. No, I didn't. And it's the early idea because the anchor will fight the lurk a lot. Like, that's actually part of your job, is your mortal enemy is the lurker. And typically that'll be anyone who can gather info for the other team or have impact on the other sides. So you'll say, on this map, specifically on Ascent, you'll see these as the most efficient lurkers. will sparsely see this. And you will even sparsely see... What's another good lurker that no one plays? I mean, obviously Viper. But you'll sparsely see these picks as well as potential lurkers for this map. But yeah, these are two of like the Sentinel cornerstones, and understanding when it's your turn to be one of these two, it'll differentiate you from a low level to a very high level player. Because on both attack and defense, you will be anchoring in some way, shape, or form. Chambers do tend to lurk, yeah. I'm not talking about Chamber because he's the duelist that he's the duelist that they sent to just play Sentinel. It's a very selfish Sentinel. Plays fundamentally different than Recon Sentinels and Bastion Sentinels. It plays just way different. I can explain it, but I do want to take that as my own little segment. Oh, true. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I just don't see Chambers on this map. If you see Chambers on this map, they might lurk. It's very strong. Either this mid lurk or this B main lurk. Strong. So yeah, if you see a Chamber, they could lurk. Also, to answer that, Raven, if they do not lurk, if there's not a lurker, there doesn't need to be an anchor. That's just how it goes. If there's no one a part of this like facility of the gameplay, there doesn't need to be somebody looking for it. If they haven't threatened it, don't bother. That's why a lot of coaches will say to fall for the first fake. Oh my lord. Good god, the lag is real. Yeah, fall for the first fake. I'm not going to be able to write everything. I'm just going to have to talk it and trust myself to sub it down. Yeah, you do not fight the ghost. Yeah, absolutely no. Don't fight the inner demons in your head telling you that one game there was a lurker that caught you on a timing over here when there shouldn't have been one. Like, it makes sense as a play, but if they don't show to do it, then don't let the demons creep into you and inspire doubt. If you're facing a team that's been running it down, like, they rush A or they rush B every single round, don't bother anchoring. Literally, the first sign of peril, just run. Split. I'm trying to refer to it as the demons in your head and not ghosts because there's a gun. And there isn't a demon gun. Yeah, instead of ghost, I'm gonna say demons. Okay. And, okay. We went through the macro of, like, anchor and lurker. Guess I can say, and it's kind of having a plan around it. Yo, what's up, B-Dog? What's up, what's up? Any relation to B-Dog? Or just coincidental name? I wanted to ask the first time, and I was like, I should be a lot more polite. No, I'm not. You're never gonna... Salad, if you pop a lobby against Demon 1, you have my permission to go 0-40. The express permission to go 0-40. Coincidental? Fair enough. Fair enough. I'll be able to sleep soundly tonight. Demon gun is short. No, I'll change your mind on that. I'll actually give you a better demon gun. Yeah, I know. Okay. I forgot demons also can represent a good player. I don't know. Because I can't say like maybe apparitions. Like, don't let the apparitions get to you. If there's not a lurker, there's likely not a lurker. If they're rushing, just be prepared to play like the full rotate. I believe that is the more correct play. Okay. But let's talk. So I guess I can talk about when you should do, well, because the game's not a flowchart, I should say. So there are going to be times where anchoring is the correct play, when lurking up and taking space is also the correct play, or when or you know, whether it's better, because like you'll typically do one or the other as the lone sentinel controlling the space. I get off topic so easily. Okay, but Globe save Sage just dying off cooldown. So I gotta lock in. Hold on, I gotta lock in and focus. But and so it's just kind of like feeling out the round. So I'll give you like a blueprint to help aid in your decision making. So if they are fast making noise and it's a lot and they tend to rush a site, that's when you'll tend to rotate fast. I'm going to start saying tend because nothing is a given. But let's say they take this early space, but then they don't come out. That's when you should have a tendency to stay over here. Like stay on this side of the map. That's like your tendency. Or if they have a tendency to not make early noise, you should have a tendency to lurk up and take control of space. How fast and how slow you do it, it depends round to round, what your read is, all that stuff. Okay. But yeah. But those are like the tendencies you'll want to keep in mind. And note, when I say that, it is never 100%. I'll never give 100% to anything in Valorant. It's a cool game. Anything can happen. That's the beauty of it. But through pattern recognition, you'll see that a lot of things tend to happen. And so it'll trust your reading skills to determine whether or not what's a good play. So for example, if they don't make a lot of noise and you're full clomping this way, I guarantee as a sentinel, you will die. Very likely. Not going to lose sleep on that one. But if you're like slowly walking up, you control this line. And then after a little bit, you get a little adventurous and you control this line. Yeah, that'll institute your lurk. And so you're getting information past the turret, which can be in situations good. Yeah, you typically will, both on attack and defense, just to sum up, you will lurk, you will anchor, and you'll fast rotate. Just to simplify the decision-making process of what a sentinel goes through. Like I said before, it can be a lot more complicated than this, but we don't have to make it more complicated than this. But with that out of the way, and explaining how the role tends to play, let's talk about what the setups are actually. And so, what we're going to go through is, this is what we'll call our default setup. And this is the setup that you'll throw the majority of rounds. This is something that you can load into any defense game. Like you're loading on whatever. And your default setup is just something you can just auto lock to. This is just something you've thrown a billion times. You can throw it super fast. And you can throw it without consciously thinking about it. Here, I'll make it with the assumption that we're using both. So let's say it's like this. This is just an example of a setup. It doesn't have to be this setup specifically, but this is your default setup that you'll just throw every round. Or not every round, as I'll get into. But this is something that you can just throw and you know how to play off of it. So, for example, you know, you can make plans off of fighting with this turret if you so inclined to. If you're alone, probably don't. Typically, this turret is combined with the Sova here, on this map in particular, and it turns into like shock darts or spam or something like that. Doesn't necessarily have to, but usually does. Another strong plan is, you know, you're playing in this region or you're playing in this region with a gun. They trip the alarm bot and there are bullets flying. You swing off of it.
as long as you have a plan of action when using the setup. So what's my protocol for if they're B main, they trigger my turret? Am I fighting off of it? Am I doing something with it? What happens if they come and take care of my alarm bot? What is my reaction to that? And the more proactive reaction, in my eyes, the better. Not saying you should fight into 5 people blind. That is not the play. So we know that like if they do this play and turret spots them, we shouldn't swing off the turret and fight because that's just a lost cause. But now we have these area denials. They have to come this way, so we can fight for stairs and fight for like this lane. It makes it really annoying because they can't come lane yet. Okay. So if you were to steal this precise setup for any particular round, let's say there's no ult involved whatsoever. What do they do both at once? Yeah, if they do a B split, you should have something for that as well. I'm just giving slight examples of individual plays. If they do both, don't be here. Playing market is actually really weak unless you are set up like this. You need 2 people for mid for a market player to make sense. Otherwise, it's very vulnerable. And the only reason you'll see pros playing here is if they have a flash to dissuade this open space from being, you know, scalable. Or if they don't expect them to be there, and then they'll get like 2 or 3. Because it doesn't make sense for you to play in this area because it's weak. So for this example specifically, and I know they run B pops, I'd likely start stairs. Because this fight is not a fight. My protocol would be they break this. Then once like the utility comes out, I would say a dart plus a dash. Or any sort of entry utility. Then we pop the mollies. And we try to control this lane. Because we don't need this space anymore. This space is forfeit. We're only trying to correct this space. Like this is the idea that we want to control. And this is this specific setup. Of course, if you had a different setup, I would fight for it differently. But in this specific configuration, I would try to like fight here and take control of this area. And also, that's like assuming there's no like counterplay to it. Obviously, if they have forces that can obliterate this area, of course, you have to adjust to them as well as yourself. Obviously, like playing back here would be really good. And still controlling this line. As long as you're controlling stairs, that's the main draw of this. And the only reason you wouldn't want to start here naturally is because then it denies this. Which on a B pop doesn't matter, so it makes it a strong play, but in any other normal configuration, it'd be bad to start there. Yeah, it's the strong play for this setup, of course. I mean, hear me out. Most of the time and that's like if they do a B pop, like a very fast B rush. On any other normal circumstance, my go lucky is just walking over here and playing to fight off the turret. Or playing to bait the turret. That's what I will typically do. I love the agency of being able to shoot people. That's just my whole philosophy. Hard to do when you're getting util dumped, but that is my thing. But I would say the more correct play is like this area. But yeah, you don't need all this. Just this. Okay. But that's for that specific situation. And the only time you'd want to change this is if the enemy are quick to punish your utility, or they know where it's at. So let's say they have shock darts for this. Most Sovas won't. I promise you they won't. Sovas and Pro will, but not here. Or even High Radiant. But I guarantee you they don't have a shock for that. Or if they do, they're nerds, which is fine. But they'll likely shoot it. And same for this turret, they'll likely shoot it very early without committing much to kind of bait you into the fight. Oh yeah, absolutely. This play works well if you're like, well, there's a lurker that likes to come late through B main and try to punish me for it. It's how I punished a Deadlock one game. Because every time, she would wait to hear me rotate and would walk all the way this way and come out. However, tried it once and I'm like, I'm posted here. Slow peeks the corner and I shoot her. I shoot her. But yeah, I personally prefer the aggressive approach. Because it's the guaranteed impact in the round. You'll rarely find me playing back here just off of the start, despite the fact that this is actually a good starting spot for some agents, specifically Cypher really loves to play there. You'll rarely find me doing that because it's not a part of my philosophy. But so, to get back on the track, once they figure out your setup, it is imperative that you have more than one. So you should invest time into thinking about what the setup, and don't go super in depth. I want you, like, if anything, you should have two primary, or here, actually I can explain this a lot better. You should have a primary, like a 1 and a 2. The first one being a primary setup for one site, and number 2 being a secondary setup for another. But it does have to serve a purpose. I'll give you an example on this map for Killjoy. And this is one that we've seen quite a bit of. And so, this would be my secondary B setup. No, actually, it probably wouldn't be. I personally wouldn't throw this, but I've seen this as a secondary B setup, and I know this, like the situation behind it. And because you're only down to one circle, the strength of it is just it's a denier for the switch, and it gives you market control. That's the whole purpose of this secondary setup, and so how I would play it would differ. And so my plan would be actually to play in market. And this is very suboptimal. But if they've seen my primary setup, they know that this pinch, there's no market pressure at all. It doesn't make sense. They never play there. And so I can have impact if they try to close the door. Or I can have impact if they try to come up mid. And I would likely fight either the switch spam, or I would fight mid as they come out, and that would be the total play and how I'd play around it. It is 1 nano. I tried to delete one on purpose. There's only 1 nano there. You don't need to spend 2. Using the second one is just better to hold on for this specific one. Yeah. You fight mid off of the turret spot for sure, because you're parked over here out of sight. Valoplant makes it very difficult, but it's likely you'll want it to be this line. Just right on this corner, because they'll see it. No matter what, they'll see it before you. And this peek out is so fast. You're good for 1 or 2. And that's one of the big advantages of this setup. It allows you to turn a disadvantaged location. Because actually the very annoying, and this is a very map specific thing, but it's actually very annoying if players are playing in like these sort of regions. Like, these are the annoying spots to deal with if you come on B. The non-annoying spots are like here and here. And so they expect 2 people to be on site or near stairs, but in fact you're using this disadvantaged spot to push yourself further above. Yeah, they nerfed it. It's some degree, but it's like this. So while there is a path that this exists, like, yeah, sure, this rap is real. It's a gamble. It's a gamble. I don't think many players would take it, but it is a gamble. But yeah, there's definitely a weakness in this setup that, I mean, we just exploited right there and then. But that's fine. That's why this is a secondary setup that I said I wouldn't normally throw. If I had one, I would have something with just the same amount of impact. And that's kind of what I want you to do. Your primary setup can be pretty spammable. You can copy this one from the pros. But any sort of secondary setup, you do need to have a deeper and more fundamental understanding of why we're throwing this. What does this accomplish? How do I play off of it? Etc, etc. Yeah, you should have that for primary, but this one has to be a lot more focused because it's not one that you normally throw. That was setups. So we had play style. And we talked utility. Anything else of importance to the Sentinel role specifically? Or to the agent specifically? Not really. No, because the general play style I explained under the Killjoy. I can reapply it if you need it for Cypher, but Cypher plays out pretty much the same way. Yes, you have to have an explicit reason for number 2. Because number 1 is something that you've seen pros throw all the time. Let's say, because I'm a Cypher main, I've seen... Let me just throw them out. What? Oh, wait. For ultimate, I would treat it like a normal ability. For KJ, I guess we can talk about KJ specifically real quickly. For KJ ultimate, you want to be in the area that you want to use the lockdown. So ideally, you're in this area with your setup reflecting it. Because you want control of tree, you want utility that allows you to stay or fight for tree. So typically what you'll see is alarm bot, 2 swarms, and a turret like here to watch the main push out. Can even bait it, and if you're really evil, you can even bait them in to because if you care about A main, which it's fine if you do, like sure, but it's a lot better if it's like up here, doubles against these 2. You want to see how you get it on the boat? Here, I can show you. Hold on, I got Valorant up. Defenders. Guess I can also just be showing this in-game. Yeah, I should supplement. Here, we'll lock KJ first and kind of just show everything. This seems actually better in just the teaching aspect. I should have led with this. Yeah. Victor does do it. Boostio did a lot.
Swarm grenades? Check. Killer robots? Check. Oh, don't worry. They only kill when I say so. My ultimate is ready.
Okay. Post the VOD. Yeah, I do. I post them. Every VOD I do gets uploaded to my VODs channel that I will leak in the... I will link in the Discord at some point.
See if I can auto put my stuff down.
Alarm bot out. Turret out.
See the line I want? Yeah, you're the line I want. Perfect.
Placing swarm grenade. Placing swarm grenade.
Yeah. This is how I would set up my default. If you know they're a B rush team, you come over here. You don't fight for this. You just kind of like climb and take this space because you'll have to shoot this dart or this dart. Typically. And I'll reinforce it. I'll like come out this way. Play this off angle. Break turret. They come forward. Blast them.
Recalling
So
my
to
bot.
show...
Recalling my bot. Bot swarm grenade out.
To show the other setup, it would be...
Turret out. Placing alarm bot. Placing
See
swarm
this?
grenade.
With this placement in mind for the mid walk up. If I had to play off of it. Yeah, it would definitely be in this position. It's the only way you play off of it. This is if you expect them to walk up mid. Otherwise, this setup is actually really bad.
Bot coming back. Bot coming back.
It's not very common. Okay. We'll show the when playing ultimate. Typically, you'll use ultimate to play for retake. KJ. And good ult spots are right here. And you want it actually up here, if possible.
Initiated. My ultimate is ready.
But it won't matter. If Asova's good, he'll hit that regardless. Another good mix-up is actually to put it down here.
Initiated. My ultimate is ready.
Because it covers virtually the same space, but
Yeah.
they'll think to ult this. They might miss. That's if they have Sova. But you'll see,
Area's clear.
like I explained,
swarm
it
grenade.
looks kind of like
Placing
this.
swarm grenade.
Not exactly. I don't know the exact like setup for it.
Placing
And then you'll
sentry.
have turret there. And it gives you double control of tree while also watching a main. Allows you to play tree.
Rick bot coming back.
Pull it back. Agent. I gotta show you Cypher Tech.
30 seconds left.
Find them again. Kill them again.
Alright. I will show you the default one that I always threw. Bing bong. If you're really wonky with it, bing bong right
Here.
there. Covers out the boat. You can also go higher if you really wanted to. You don't need it to. Isn't that much higher, but it's like, it's higher. I always think ground is better because there's no other way you can do it. Stole that from Nats? Yeah. I also stole it from Nats, don't worry. Because I also stole this one from Nats. But the typical standard one I'll throw is this. Or actually, I'm a liar. Whenever I played, I did use this one. Bing, default, and then another default. That doesn't allow them to come out. And the cam is not really. Cypher is a different case than Killjoy, because Killjoy has a range limit to her utility. He is forced to play in a specific area, which is, you know, fine, it's balanced. Cypher doesn't have that limitation. So you are, when you anchor, your positioning could differ greatly. So, for example, this position on KJ would be very suboptimal. Should they come this way. But Cypher can play there. And coincidentally, an even better trip that I also stole from Nats is, where is it? I think it's here, yeah. Is this one? Where it allows you to play back boathouse, watch the stairs push, and gives you value because the area that you're exposed to, the enemies cannot physically get to, and if they jump, they'll make noise. Good place to play Cypher on cam, or on the sign. Can be. You have to be able to throw it. It's fine. Look straight down. It's just as hard as break. And the only reason you'll throw your cams here or on the sign are strictly to get information. This is all audio because this cam, without using your body, can actually hear into
Here.
link. And so you let your team know if you hear
Here.
them stomping out mid. But yeah, cam is a nice good spot. If they shoot this
Here.
one frequently, throwing this one is also a good mix-up. My specific mix-up actually comes over here. This is my specific mix-up, where
Yeah.
it spots mid-top walk. I like the camera's a lot more versatile than the turret, because the turret only has one good
Here.
access point to go deep information, or even
Here.
like this for like this
Here.
line of information. Cypher cam can actually just go up very easily. There. You can even go here if you don't want like the players on the right side to be able to shoot it. But yeah. Cypher cam can be a little bit more lenient with how you throw it. For example, this one is actually really good if you expect them to do a pop, because then they'll take the time to shoot it and you can always reposition however you see fit. Normally
Yeah.
you'll only get here. You have cage, you can go deeper, but you have options. You have options. But this is just the one that I can throw without thinking about it. When I'm on ascent, this is what I throw. I don't think about it, and it covers everyone coming out. Allows us to play the retake, allows us to play backside, gives us full control, lets the team know what's going on, so on and so forth. And same with the KJ. If we have to reinforce the play style, knowing when you should push out, take more space than your utility should hold, just depends on your read into the game, but you should tend to do this more often than not if they don't have a lurker. They do have a lurker, still same idea, where you're ahead of your utility and you're just holding to fight them earlier because they expect you to be back here playing the anchor role, or God forbid you play over here. This is the worst, actually. This is the worst spot. Or you're playing here. Unlikely that they'll catch you doing this. You can probably get away with it like a couple times, and then they'll expect it. That's when you should switch up. I'd say, what was my primary for A? Yeah, I know my primary for A now. It was this. Where the fuck are you? There you go. It was you. Oh, my cam. No. Please. Wait, can I recall that? No, I cannot. Okay. Oopsie. Forgot about that. Sorry, my bad. To throw it like right here. This spot deep, early information. That's just the default one. Any other secondary one, I've had to have a specific idea of how I want to accomplish my goal. Cypher, it's a lot easier because then you just set up kill trips. Do you think they'll walk? Catch that walk, catch that walk, and then you'll play this certain area where you'll swing off the trip or whatnot. Same down here. Typically have a cage ready. I know I can huck them.
Cage
They'll land
triggered.
typically where I want them to land. You'll have to place them, but I'm just like that. But I would say Cypher has the same mentality. But it's just that you're allowed to play fast rotate a little more often than other agents can. Because I'm on B now. But I'm on B. I place my turret, or not turret, my cam. And I can just kind of move around the map as I feel. And I'm not indebted to anything. I'm not slowed down by any sort of area. But I can check mid, I'm gone. I'm gone, they're going A, they're going A, I'm coming A, boys, I'm coming A. But like that's sort of the idea behind them. Recon initiators do have a very
Recon initiators? Wrong video. Hey, I'm Briggy Ninja. Hi. This is me. Dumbass here. Info Sentinels have the ability to have a very similar playstyle that allows them to have a little, you want a little more fluidity into your aggressiveness than so on your like passive defensiveness. And so figuring out when you should anchor, when you should lurk up, when you should fast rotate, that all comes down into the game and how it feels. Absolutely. Okay. So, with that finished, they'll probably kick me out, but that's fine. We move on to our next set of interesting Maleficent. So we first talked about our info gathering sentinels. We are now going to talk about Bastion and what I believe will be the future of Valorant, or what Riot wants the Sentinel role to become. They wanted to become this, but they fucked up and made these. So info recon, or oh my good lord, info sentinels will be here to stay. Trip sentinels will be here to stay. The ability to watch flank is just too strong. The ability to control multiple lanes without putting a threat onto one of the lanes is actually really strong. It'll be like that until they destroy these two. I don't know how they will, but they won't. They just buffed one of them. Feel weird to get rid of them now. Okay, so now we're talking about Bastions. I'm not gonna fuck this one up because there isn't a Valorant equivalent of a Bastion whatsoever. Yeah, you Overwatch players, I'm not talking about that one. It's more of like this wall, insurmountable unscaling wall. So Bastion sentinels play a different way than your traditional recon or info gathering sentinels, where they have to, in order to control two lanes at once, let's say these two lanes, because it's very unlikely you'll be able to control these two. Sage actually can, and we'll get to that. But I want to talk about Deadlock first. It's kind of different how you'll play, because you don't have passive abilities to go this way. So in actuality, it's unlikely that you'll be lurking as a Bastion sentinel. As well, you likely won't be even anchoring. Now, of course, Deadlock and Sage both can, and like any agent can do both of these, but it's kind of counterintuitive to how the agents want to play. Sage has a very supportive toolkit. Deadlock also has a decently supportive toolkit, but her toolkit is specifically for countering specific types of agents rather than specifically helping. About Deadlock sound sensors. Now, if Deadlock sound sensors triggered off of anything but noise, she would just be an info gatherer. But because it's specifically noise, not quite. So let's build sound sensors, and this is how I've seen it. Real quick, where are you? Literally right there.
30 seconds left.
You're all more important than
And
words on a brief.
So
Look out for
when
each
we're
other.
talking about sound sensors and how they'll typically be played, is it'll be one here.
Sound sensor up.
And I've seen players do this, and I'm
Sound
like, this
sensor
is
up.
actually a waste, such a waste of energy. But it's also a waste to put it here. And the reason why, or I guess it would have to go like here. Where is it? Barrier is this on Phonic, I think.
Listening.
There. I can check the barrier after. If you can't place it there, you can. And so, what the idea of what sound sensor does, and I think that people want this to behave like a trip, and Riot doesn't want to do that. I don't think they should let Riot should not let them do this either, because if this acts like a trip, it's just breaking what they want this character to be. What this trip actually does is it allows you to play off angles. Now, that alone is a weird thing to say because any agent can play off angles, but only some of them play it really well. Off angle abusers are typically agents like Jet, Reyna, like super abusers, or anyone with immediate mobility or invulnerability. ISO's another good one. ISO's kind of weaker than them. Spoiler warning, he's weaker about everything, but that's fine. Yeah, Chamber, anyone, like any selfish playmaker can will make use of off angles. But what this ability allows you to do, you do have to be a lot more active with Deadlock's ideas, is that it allows you to play off angles. Like you get this original off angle pick, because this is not very checkable. Like, let's say you're scaling up mid, you're checking here, you're checking here first, and then you're getting ready to check here, and then oops,
Over there.
this individual looking at you. Here, I'll spray it. But this is how you would typically scale, is you would check here, check here, check here, and you get ready to peek out. And while you are peeking out, you're dead to this game. And so, the next person to come and swing you gets triggered by this, and so now you're not punished by holding this off angle. It's a trade stopper. And so when there's a trade stopper in the game, it'll play differently. So you'll typically be playing around this. However you seem fit. I know I've seen this before.
Sound sensor up.
You fight off the stun? You would absolutely fight off the stun. Or it depends. Depends on the situation. Let's say you kill one, and if they were doing a B split, it's likely 2 more. You do not re-swing off of the stun unless you guaranteed Saul like literally 2 on their back. And you can guarantee they're both stunned. It depends on the situation. Like the correct play, honestly, is to... Okay. The correct play is to back away and not give this fight and like play like this angle. But this is smoked off and you have to spray. Hope you kill. Whereas it would also be very strong to come out and fight. But that's what I'll say. I'll say it depends. If you're alone, likely not. If you're with a buddy, let's say there's someone in here ready to play off your stun as well, then I would definitely fight. Oh, absolutely. I'd fight that so fast. Sometimes he'll die, but if you're calling, I'm fighting this, they'll likely join you. Yeah, because Deadlock plays this way. Back from Brazil. Welcome back. Welcome back. That was Brazil. But yeah.
Blocking movement.
That's how you play around that, and that's why I don't consider Deadlock part of the info club or as an anchor. I would consider them more fast rotators. Both the Bastion agents for sure. The wall gives passive info. They can't be in this area, which, yeah, it's one of the weaknesses you get for picking one. But hey, not your problem. And the only reason
Throwing net.
agents like Deadlock and Sage are really good at rotators is because they actually have really good supportive kits. This grenade is perhaps one of the best pieces of like utility you can ask for. By the way, look at how ridiculous this is. I'm sure if you have lineups for this, let's
No escape.
yeet this. Where you land? Yeah, and you just cleared all of Gen with that. You'd be putting them on drops and defaults. So yeah,
that's kind of why Deadlock felt super unpopular and felt super weak, is because players were trying to force it to be something it wasn't. And when people inevitably figure out that Deadlock is super strong against specific ideas, like on this map specifically, we saw a Chinese team really run this like to the ground, where they would actually set up their Deadlock A. It would be this sensor, and it would be this sensor, I think. No.
Sound sensor up.
And so the idea was they would come out and fight. Like, this player would fight, try to get them to come out. And so when they would come out, this player would swing and fight. They would swing, get stunned, and there was no trade. And it made the round really difficult. If they get caught in the stun, they just die. And if they like jump out of the stun range, they have to reset. This is probably re-smoked or re-naded. And it's really difficult. We're just discussing the general playstyle of Sentinels. It was requested last night. I was somewhere last night. I was not here though. But yeah, that's typically what they will do. Or those are the ideas that were being presented with this agent, or with this archetype. To simplify this, because Deadlock is fairly new, we can go and show these ideas on Sage.
30
They
seconds
really
left.
do look simple.
This is why we are a team.
Yeah, you like? Oh yeah. And so there's a couple of cool ideas that
Keep them out.
the Bastion like Sage provides.
Barrier created.
So this early wall provides information. I like boosting on walls. So does Artis. If you watch Artis play Sage, which you shouldn't ever, please don't watch Artis play Sage. It's actually a disaster. But he likes boosting on the walls. And just, it allows you to take early fights. Early unexpected fights. You can't do this all the time. You can do it sometimes, but not all the time. It allows you to get the early information while also blocking off this avenue. But then yeah, after you put the wall up, you're actually just leaving. Like, you don't have to be here anymore. Typically. And the same kind of idea comes from this wall, where you just block off this avenue. Like, you block off the cat wall, and so the A-split becomes really weak unless they come and try to break this. And this peek out actually kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie. Being exposed to this and this is kind of bad. Ideally, you would do it from back here. Grimwall. I'm never telling you to Grimwall. If you know the Grimwall and you think the situation is good for it, go for it. Let's say, because it's like, yeah.
Barrier created.
I don't know Grimwall's.
Wall raised.
Because I'm sure he does a wall like this. No. Anyway, if you don't, I don't know them, so I'm not gonna try to show them. I'm not like that. But if there's a situation where Grimwall seems really good, yeah, just throw it. Sure. Doesn't matter. I'm sure there was this... I think I know this one. I tried to learn this one. It's like... What is it? I don't like this.
Wall raised.
Yeah, where you can challenge this thing up here. Sure. But yeah, it just comes to the situation. But traditionally, your Sage is not gonna lurk up. Because this doesn't feel good unless you're doing, let's say, this wall at the start.
Barrier created.
And then coming over here and fighting, but that's super weak because you're not starting at the barrier. I'm not talking about agent strength at all. If I were, a lot of these, I wouldn't even be talking about Bastion Sentinels. They're not in a very strong place right now. I think Sage specifically is really weak. Deadlock has been shown that he can hang, but it's definitely a Cypher KJ show currently. Even Chamber, like the Love Chamber, is getting his. But yeah. And so what you would
traditionally do, because lurking doesn't feel good. Because you want to use your wall to deny as much access as possible. And then you'd want to contest another lane. So this would feel really strong for a... This is what you would have to do if you were trying to play like a traditional information gathering sentinel, where your information gathering tool is here. If they physically break it, you'll know they're there. If they use utility to scale it, you can hear it. But very likely, they'll either just shoot it early, or they'll wait it out, or they'll go somewhere else. And so you have to be in the somewhere else category. If you sage wall and stay in that area, you're really shooting yourself in the foot. And it's the same for Deadlock. If Deadlock places a wall and stays there, it's like, I'm kind of redundant because they can't come this way. But when they break it, then yeah, you can huck a slow, and now you're ready to play Anchor. But it's more catered to, I've thrown this wall, you know I'm B, I'm outski, dog. I'm gone. See you. Especially if they make the noise. You don't have to worry about a lurk B main because it's not a possibility. And then you're just over here. Of course, rounds differ, but it just feels fundamentally less strong to not throw a wall and come out this way. And of course, every situation is, like I've been saying, it's not absolute. Yeah, there are rounds that if you feel like lurking is just the best possible play, go for it. I'm sure you can find me a VOD where Sage, instead of insta-popping a wall, they typically break it, and so they'll come and fight first. Or if they don't come and fight, they'll like push up first earlier and get like a deeper one. Trap gaps, they're good. This is a good one. Trap gaps are cool. If you throw the right one. I'm not a Sage player. I promise I don't know all the tech on Sage. I also... At least I know this tech. But yeah, these are sick. No, I'm not gonna be a Sage, man. I'm learning close right now. But yeah, these plays are really good, especially if they're unpredictable. It's kind of the same. It's not the same for Deadlock because the POV. This feels like there shouldn't be a gap here, but there is. Whereas, and especially with a smoke popped on as well, it feels really awkward. Can't do that with Deadlock. Her wall is very see-throughable. So if you try to do that as Deadlock, don't be surprised if you get shot in the face quite frequently. They pull it up. Yeah. And so to get the macro section through just real quick, real general, because we just went through the utility and how you typically play around it. Pull up the Sage. So you typically wall early. This area is find a wall. This area is find a wall. I don't think I've seen many of this wall. It's very awkward to do this wall. Guess I don't have to draw it, I can just show it. Very awkward to do this one. It's very easily breakable and very hard to contest, especially if I'm jump up. And there's just better agents to contest A main with than Sage. Yeah, pretty much. You deny the lane, and if they break it, you stay. Here, I guess I can show you the pinpoint, because I'm going to say, in terms of lurking, you'll rarely do. There will be situations where it's good, but it's less frequent. I would say for fast rotate, I would do this a lot. With Qs, of course, if they are making no noise after you put this wall, I mean, have a little doubt in your mind that there is something here. And so I wouldn't leave completely. I wouldn't be already over here. I'd probably be right here in a weaker spot. Or even right here. And if they break it or wait it out and throw utility, I'd try to sneak back onto site. That's just me. Yeah, fast rotate, and then anchoring you would do a lot less too. Nope. AC again, trying to sneak its way. Yeah, there'll be less anchor. Pro players will anchor with the sentinels. For the walls, I think Sugetsu does that a lot, where he'll throw up a sage wall and just kind of chill there. But that's one player, and I don't want to take the one and make it the many. Silent jump spot as sage wall. Well, on a scale from 1 to troll, you would look like an absolute buffoon. If you were to so let's say you put the sage wall up and you come over here and you start silent jump spotting. For first of all, there's no way you could silent jump spot. Hey Exog, thank you for the prime, my dude. Thank you for the free prime. Yeah, dude, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it greatly. Thank you for spending Amazon's money towards me. I will never say no to a prime. I will say no to actual subs, though. If you guys are subbed to me, please don't. Send a free prime. Yeah, base of dollars. Yeah, it did mean lurk less, Salad. But if you do lurk, please do lurk like less. It does come into play very frequently. Although he'll typically lurk when he can apply utility pressure on other sides of the map, which a Bastion Sentinel can't do. But yeah, typically you'll be along the way of playing fast rotate, or if they do come to your way. I think the better example for Sage is Split on defense. I mean, Les is a good lurker, I'm not gonna lie. Some players will say that this mid wall is actually troll. I kind of agree with them too, because there are 2 lanes of which to break it. When there are 2 lanes to break a early sage wall, it does feel kind of weird because they're not filtered into any sort of area. There's also a specific tip for this map where this wall is good, or even this wall is better, because then it only allows them to have this pathway. Because then you throw this wall and you fuck off. But yeah, you like control mid with your slows first, instead of your wall. Foot played Sage on Icebox. Ah. Yeah, and I knew that Paper X played Sage on Sunset. I saw the tech. It's quite good. I personally think they need to either drop the Gecko or drop the Sage, because they both do the same thing. It's the same thing if you run a Harbor. Unless they are trying to... Or, hear me out. Hear me out. If I'm going to rebuild Paper X's comp, I'd actually build it like this. So we do you... I'd build it like this. This is just a side rant. Sage slow is a square? Yeah, Sage slow is a square. Didn't know that? It's just a square. Yeah. Here, you want to see it? It's a square. Oh, I guess I can put it in an area that's really big. Hold on, let me put it in mid. But yeah, it's a square. Which one did I change? I changed a lot of things. So hear me out, okay? No, it's just always a square. And it'll change depending on like what space you give it, but it is a square, just in general. He's KO. Yeah, he's KO. Yeah, there's no duelist in this comp whatsoever. Personally, I think this is the core. This is a flex. I think that this agent can be anything. Just for a second. Okay, yeah. I would take out the Omen. I don't know what I would replace it with. Personally, I would replace it with KJ or Raze. It just depends on how you want to splash these agents in. I think KJ will give you a lot more consistent defense rounds. But Raze will give you potential on attack to get a lot more like bonus space. There's benefits for both, but I think an ultra defensive comp will beat just a splashing in an aggressive piece. But I could see both being fine. I'm not saying that this is like what Paper Rex will run for sure. Absolutely not. I'm sure they will not run this comp. But if I were building a team to like play this map at the highest level, I would run these agents. Yeah, no, they definitely won't. And so I would, to maximize defense, and this comp actually has a lot of merit through contact plays. Although it is very exploitable, so to speak. You gotta have a lot of good ideas. And a lot of the ideas would likely be exposing this mid-top area through Viper Wall, like a deep Viper Wall. I personally think a good default wall here would be sick. I know the regular one is like, I think it's something along the lines of this. Splits the map into. Who's Curry replacing? Curry is replacing John Cutie while he gets his visa. Yeah, if Jing is back, their comp will change 100% because Raze will be a constant in that comp because he's just too good. Literally one of, if not the best player last year on this agent. It's not even just on this agent, in the league. So yeah, if I were to take Paper X, it's gonna be Jing, Raze, and then everything else will just fit into place. It just works for them. But yeah, if we were talking like pro sets, this is just something I would bring to a pro team if I was their coach. And I would say, we're going to trial this because the ideas behind this could be really good. The space denial that we can have could be monumental, and the amount of like trickiness we can bring into a round could be ridiculous. That's why I think like these agents are the flex in to see how we feel. I think Omen would provide a lot more consistency for both sides, like both attack and defense. But this brings stronger defense, this brings stronger attack. I think this is just like, this is whatever fits the bill. All right. But enough of like that stuff. There is one more sentinel we do have to talk about, and that is Chamber. Chamber is a very selfish agent. The utility, the headhunter is just a gun. This is a normal trip, and this is your get out of jail free. I have not. I can head on Twitter real quick to see. Did I say anything on Twitter? Any translators, or it looks like they're good to go? No, there's a lot of prayers in the chat. Very unlikely, actually. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, they're praying for it. So unlikely.
Yeah, I tricked me. I don't know Spanish, so they also tricked me. That's on them. Oopsie. Google Translate? I don't trust Google Translate, but I'm down. Give me a sec. Pull it back up. I would trust like a traditional translator. We'll just get a feel for what he said. Finally, my team returned to Los Angeles, and tomorrow there will be allowed with a sinister gameplay based on faith. Okay, so that's why. So that's why there was a lot of Jesuses in chat. Okay, that checks out. Okay, so all right, Loud's in. Loud's good to go. Portuguese. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, they're good. Yeah, you were tricked again. They're good. They're good to go. Go ahead. Okay. Chamber is the definition of it's the opposite. It's unlikely you will anchor a site. You are an anchor lurk, which is a weird and bizarre combination to have as a good god. The N is going to be the downfall. So you're an anchor lurk, which is very funny to say about an agent. And it's really because this is in no particular order. This trip probably sucks very much. That probably seems really bad. It's likely it would be like this. Sure. I mean, if you played them here, this seems really bad. I'm sure this sucks. But you can just use your imagination on where it would make sense to put a chamber setup. So it allows you to aggressively lurk, and then you anchor on this lurk position because you have a get out of jail free card that sends you to another space on the map, which is kind of nice. Which is very, very kind of Riot to give you. I think it would be really good to put it here. Here, if you think that's the threat, but that's a threat too. I don't care about the placement, but the idea stands the same. You pick a position, you play in this, and you just anchor this lurk area. Yellow one's TP, orange one is the trip. That also probably wouldn't be where you place it, likely here. Or, no, you have to play it in the barrier. Kind of annoying. But yeah, so you just anchor whatever lurk position you get, and then this transfers. Your agent kind of seemingly transfers into a lurk, or it transfers into a fast rotator, just depending on where you play. Example, Exhibit B, or A rather. Exhibit A, it's likely. Probably play it here. This position can turn into a fast rotate or a fast flank. And that's that's what differentiates Chamber from the rest, is that like from the info gatherer and it like sentinels that he's usually paired with, is that his role, it kind of blurs the line between lurk and anchor. really blurs this line, just like you're doing the same thing. Yeah, pretty much. And it's very it's very weak to deep anchor, whereas a normal info sentinel would love to deep anchor these positions. Chamber can't, because the information is his face plus this thing, but this thing is just a supplementary to the face. And that's how you would play. Your setup also is less info based, kind of a feeling. I have a feeling I want to be like right here. And then you place a TP that supplements this feeling. I have a feeling I can get right here.
then you place a TP that supplements this feeling. I have a feeling I want to be right here. Same kind of concept. Just have a TP that supplements this feeling. And then you just kind of play around it. And you hold whatever space you hold. Because you control 2 lanes. You control 2 lanes like an info. But unlike an info, you attempt to grab kills. Rather than, so like this is your lane, and then this is your lane. And it's very selfish, because other than this, Chamber really doesn't help the team at all. There's no other early gathering info. It's just, we're out here, let's dance. When to leave your safe space? Okay. So if you struggle with when to leave this safe area, it is when other information is present on the map. So, and that's kind of when you judge. So for example, when we were making this assumption, I gave you a list of scenarios when you would do any certain action. And of course, every one of those has a 100% possibility of happening in a round. That's just how it works. But with Chamber, it's just applying to extra... Like every agent, it applies to this level of information that you gathered. So let's say there is no information on the map. Well, you're going to tend to lurk more forward. Chamber would like to do this. Like, even leaving your safe space is totally fine. If there's, like, you hear nothing here, you hear nothing here, and you got no information based on where they are, and you're out here, right, in your TP space, so you're past, like, any potential smoke. So, you know they're not there. It would be advantageous for you to kind of walk around and use the enemy's tendencies to kind of figure out where they're going and just kind of make an educated guess. Where you would anchor is if they hear, like, noise here, but they stop. Like, they just take the space. You're like, interesting. I'll control this area and just hold it. Just in case. And then if they call 5 fast, your ass is grass. Get over there. You know? And so it's just kind of like the same level of ideas. And because these kind of blur together, you don't have to make that decision as much anyway. But it's always for information that you want to. Or to take like an educated risk. It's so counterintuitive. Oh, baby. That's interesting, actually. I want to... Can you elaborate more on why that's counterintuitive? Like, why do you feel that way? Because I want to be able to convey that as best as possible onto why it's like a good idea to do so. And I'm talking all of these under the assumption of ranked. Of course, that's just how I talk anything. Unless I specifically mention pro play, I'm just going to speak it. Unless I'm talking about objective agent strength, that will go to pro play. But I am curious on why it feels weird. And then you're moving. Okay. And so with that in the way, here's what you're gonna find yourself with that. And I make a pretty bold prediction. When you have no information, and this is like, let's say this is your tip. I'm just gonna put an actual setup here because this makes sense to me. This makes way more sense to me. So, when you have no information, you can't just W key forward. You catch my drift. But you can look for an aggressive fight this way. If you have nothing. You can also hold this. This is also this is more of your anchor role too. Like, you can stay here. This is totally a fine play. But there needs to be some risk-taking avenue that points you in the right direction to give you more control in the round. So let's say you sit here the entire time. You have no idea if they're here. You have no idea if they're here. You have no idea if they're here. You have a 1/3 chance to have impact on the round if you stay here. And that will, technically it's not 1/3. There's a 33% chance that they come your way off of the lane structure. Like here and here. And so for ranked, we want to maximize our ability to get like impact. And so after some point, you do want to walk this way. Carefully, of course. Like, don't make noise. Like, if you're transitioning to this lurk phase, you do want to just start walking out when you believe you have a timing. And you want to take an engagement. You shouldn't be content with sitting here the entire round. Despite the fact that this play is actually good. There are some times where you'll want to push forward. And like, the more obvious ones are if you have full information, they come here. You're just fast rotating. But if there's like nothing, here, let me pull it in game. Let me pull it in game. And I guess I should have been using this one. Chamber. Boom, boom, boom.
30 seconds left.
If you are not doing well, keep trying. We must keep up
Let's
appearances.
show it. Let's show it in action. I think this map is better.
Again.
Wait for me to get the just across. Let's say right. Obviously, getting over here is great, and then you can just play with this B main info. Carefully peek. Yeah. And now, personally, this is probably the strongest. It's not the safest, but it's probably the strongest to get you one. And let's say you have no info. They could be mid, they could be A lobby, or they can even be deep B lobby. The only way you can check that info with your face, come over here. Which you can safely check. So, now, you can play the waiting game. But at some point, in some round, in some situation, not all, like I said, none of these are 100% the correct play, always. But a tendency to keep going. If there's no pressure here, you want to get past it. Yeah, because now you can walk up here, take a timing. You're behind them. And you can punish them. Like over here, over here. It allows you, because it's risky. This is a risky play, right? This is far more risky than I guarantee you are comfortable with. Because I know in your brain right now, like your neurons are firing. Let's say I'm in this position in a ranked game. Your brain is firing that there's a dude right there, right? You'd be screwed. Yeah. Yeah, but I had a feeling like there are threat angles that I don't think exist. And if you have a read on them, that's fine. So let's say, because if you take no risk, you'll reap standard reward. Your standard reward is, well, fuck. They're already hitting A. I have to TP and run there, and I'm playing defensive. Be the spawn KJ. What? Fuck no. Okay. If this dude is here at the start of the round, chilling. Like if you immediately push out of the start of the round, let's say you're here by like 1:30. If the dude's still there, that's totally like reasonable and valid. But if they are making no noise, no util, no nothing, like nothing at all, just wait. Think about your read. It's likely a contact play if they've made no noise, spent no utility, and good contact plays are typically through main or B. Because you don't contact through mid, that just seems really fucking bad. Because you need to fight for utility with mid. And so in that play, you would instigate this lurk. And so now the extra teammate that's here or the extra teammate that's here, no, they can actually kind of slide that way towards A. And so you're getting this early information that impacts the round. And if the dude's sitting in here while you're while you're walking up tiles, die to him. I don't care. Die to him. Die to him the first time, and then you're like, okay, this KJ literally sits in spot. Like, I'm just gonna hold this space. You guys can fast rotate to A. Because in pro play, you'll see this play where they'll just do this, and this is acceptable in pro play. But you will also see them kind of creep up too to get even more information. You're that KJ? Okay, well then you need to rewire your brain because this is a weak ass play. If you're sitting over here, if you're this KJ, just know that it's a bad play. Because if you're afraid of this play, it's a suboptimal play. Because you're not affecting the team. You're controlling unnecessary space. Because good lurkers, good KJs will play here. Because first of all, they can let their turret take control of B main. And then you just kind of have to pause and play the waiting game because now the KJ is aware of your presence and you dry walking out is bad. But that's why the game is very fluid. But if there's a lurker here, this is like the more pressing threat. And typically the lurker will come this way. They'll like walk over here, play late through mid. Or if they have a good read that you're fast rotating, they'll come cats. It's unlikely. Or even more likely, you would have fought them already. Because a good lurker would wait a bit, walk up, and attempt to fight you at some point. And during your early stage, where sitting in your safe space is correct while you're scaling up and controlling the space, you lay them out or you just get out. And then you know that there's a lurker, and that's still information while you're getting impact. The only time I've seen players do it is they'll be like here. They'll be here or they'll be here. But this gives them angle disadvantage, so this sucks. This is just bad.
Here.
Because
Here.
they'll see you first. Even accidentally. Yeah, because you're crushingly close. But of course, like this angle is really sick, right? Like this is a really sick angle. You have your holding advantage. You can lay them out, but no one's gonna play here because I'm literally out of the fucking play. If I don't kill them, I'm not anywhere near to impact the map. I can't go for fast flank. I can't go for or fast lurk or whatever.
Here.
I can't rejoin the team.
Here.
It takes too fucking. So whenever you have a thought of like, I would do that play, question the strength of your play and how feasible it is to have impact while doing said play. Because I guarantee it, you'll die to this 0 or this 3 and 11 KJ who's like, I'm going to kill this guy sitting out here. Because I used to do this too when I played Omen. I would play over here and I'd watch this walkout. And I would try to be like right here so I had this holding advantage. And eventually I recognized like, holy shit, I'm just out of this round. My team's up A. I'd throw them utility to continue to lurk, but I'm lurking for fucking nothing. I mean, eventually I can make a lurking guide because it's actually quite more complex than people give it credit for. I also would probably watch CSGO, CS2 VODs because they lurked first. So understanding how they lurk would help. And I would put in the research for that. But yeah, that's kind of the idea for Chamber. That's when you want to be leaving your safe spot is when you need to make like, when you need information where your team can't gather it and you just need like, you just need to have a read. And sometimes you're going to be wrong. You're going to walk out to 5 players and they're just going to kill you.
Or sometimes you're gonna get this free information. You're gonna call nothing B, nothing B. Back towards A. Nothing B. My trip sees nothing A mid. You guys can walk towards B. Or walk towards A rather. And then yeah, your team's full A, and it's 5v4 on A, and that's statistically winning for you. Like 3v5 is statistically winning on a site. And so if you're statistically winning all the time, or most of the time, you'll win more rounds. Typically. Sometimes you'll just lose rounds, whatever. Most of the time you kill it. I think it's the same kind of idea for
That works.
over here. Where you pop stuff. Yeah, you can just walk up safely. Not being aggressive enough. Yep. That's why I tell a lot of Sentinel players fall into the under aggressive, like super passive, in comparison to a lot of the other roles. It's natural. A lot of the Sentinel playstyle is built around being defensive. It's strong. It's very strong. Your utility is so strong that it's good to play off of it. And if you're not playing off of it, it's really weak. But when you limit yourself to that, you'll have this like aggressive fluidity to where you could get aggressive at a moment's notice. You become a very unconfident player who relies on your utility. Yeah. And when like there's a never in your playbook, just know that it's over. Because I was a Cypher player for a while. I was like the
30
Cypher
seconds
guy.
left.
Where will they go?
And when
this
I would
time?
teach other Cyphers, it was like, why aren't we like oh my lord. Okay, you have to have it in your hand.
Yes,
There you
this
go.
should do.
Like, why aren't we throwing this? Why aren't we throwing this?
This goes here.
Throw a quick one here?
That goes there. Ah,
For the
this is a
cage?
nice spot.
Why aren't we just walking up mid? Like, you walk here, this spots, and then we come out and fight. And this is, of course, with the idea that they haven't been darting bottom mid. If they don't do that, that's the only time I do that play. But it was the same kind of idea on B. It's like, I'll throw this cam. And yeah, check it early, come across. And I'm here. And then I'll walk out if I think I need more information. Or if I need to control more space. And if I have a read they're holding me, I don't peek out. And then if I have a read I have a time in, I'll peek out. But I'll be very careful about it, you see? Like, if I'm never gonna mindlessly just push out. Unless I think there's no one there. If I think there's no one there, I'll literally knife out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'll just die. I do. That's like the whole game. I'll die every time. Yeah, because then you clear all this space and then it's a free round because you aggressively took it. And there are times where just playing back here makes sense. Like if they're an aggressive team coming over here, controlling it with the strip over here. Like coming over here and contesting stairs, just so good. But yeah. I guess if I was going to give the Sentinel talkover, like a true summarization of how I believe you should play Sentinel, not just how each individual Sentinel plays, but how to play the round. There should be a lot more fluidity. You have to play with a little more aggressiveness. Don't always just trust your setup. Sometimes you just have to go and play aggressive. And when you add that to your repertoire, you're less predictable, and it's very hard to play against you. Or a lot of teams will be unwilling to try it. Feel about the B-wall spot thing by Lane? What? What do you mean? B-wall spot? Like the cam? You boss. Oh, where Sovas want to spam? You play here? I think this is bad unless you have an Odin. Even then, you play here now. This angle is a lot safer,
Here.
a lot less spammable. Or I think it's over here, yeah.
Here.
It's a lot less dartable because you can dodge the dart. But yeah, this is the spam spot you do nowadays. If you're ever doing it. You just spam the tail. Or a little bit over here. Oh, you mean like over here? Yeah, this is fine. This is another fine position. This is more of an anchor position, yeah, but it's good. Yeah, this makes more this makes sense, yeah. And of course, it'd be really good to play off of like this cam too. If you have someone who can shoot the dart for you, that's even better. But ideally, it's actually you shoot your own dart, and then you hop on. They come out, and then you don't have timing. Yeah, it's fine. Like I said, I'm not gonna come over every setup, but if you're going to play the more setup agents, I want you to have a plan in mind for when you use utility. So if you want to use that, it's fully valid to come over here, and I would have trips for it. Probably not this one. I would honestly set up like this. Because I want them to come ledge. Even, oh, there's even this one. This one's not bad either. So that's if I want to play this area. Because then this is also, I think, spammable.
Here.
Yeah, it's spammable. So that's another trick. That, yeah, so if I was gonna play here, break the common dart, watch them come out, kill them. But yeah, it's fine. It's a strong play, especially if they're anchoring out. It's also it's definitely one of the secondary plays though. I would never start around like that unless I feel like I can catch them off guard. Or if it's very unlikely they've seen it. I would still just do like my standard strong setup first. You don't throw early. Well, good. Mix it up still. If you're a sentinel, you can't do this every round. Or even most rounds. And because I consider this an anchor play, because the fall back is very anchory. I wouldn't have this as like a general. If I were giving you notes for it, which I'm not, this is just a general recommendation to any Sentinel player ever. If you're like learning the role, let's say you're trying to switch to the role, I would say I would do 3 rounds and keep track. 3 rounds of lurking, like aggressively lurking. 3 rounds of anchoring. 3 rounds of fast rotate. And then you have an additional 3 rounds to practice what you felt you were weaker at. Just so you can get versed in like aggressively taking the base, not in a row. No, of course no, of course not. Of course not. If you think you can get away with it in a row, then do so. But no. Flanking? Yeah, of course. Be kind of funny. I did do that, or what was my suggestion? Because I had this for aggressive players or people who lacked an aggression.
where I would tell them to pick a random number generated of 1 through 12 and have it pick 3 numbers. And what those 3 numbers would tell you are those are the rounds where you had to get aggressive or aggressively fight for space. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the enemy team wants to avoid the sentinels because they're insanely strong on defense. And good sentinels are unpredictable too. So it's very annoying to try to hit their sights. And so they'll typically just avoid you, or they'll try to go A, or they'll run defaults and try to avoid your sight. Got a similar rule for long angles? I figured. Anytime the only way to get better at it is through repetition, I'll typically have a round minimum in a game. Because I think that's like how you get better at lurking is you just do it more. How you get better at like just buying an op and just shooting it is just using it. Same like any gun, any sort of play style, anything that just requires hours of prep and play, or you just have to use it. You just have to use it more, and it's annoying for anything. It just takes time and dedicated practice, and it allows you to break the habit of just buying a Spectre because you're comfortable with it. When you have the minimum, you can't just buy it. You have to buy these guns. I know some players have that problem where they would believe they don't deserve a rifle. They're comfortable with the Spectre, but we don't want them to be comfortable with the Spectre. We want them comfortable with majority of guns, like a decent. You love Spectre, of course, but you're not gonna buy it every round when you could buy rifles. Yeah? And you do that because you're comfortable picking up a rifle. And I'm specifically talking throughout the game. Like second round, of course, just buy the Spectre. It's good. You don't have to wait and save. But if it's like round 6, you have enough money to buy a rifle, and you buy a Spectre because it's comfortable to you. Shorty break the rule? Absolutely not. If you have enough money to buy the Shorty and keep your economy going, you're buying the Shorty. And that means keep the economy going. So let's say you're around 4K, you don't have to buy the Shorty. You need to keep your rifle. But if you have like excess amount of money, buy the sucker. It's a good gun. But the more you buy it, the better you'll get at it. It's probably one of the weapons that I need to buy more and actively use more. Like put myself in situations to use this thing. Because I am quite a bad Shorty player. I am quite a bad Shorty player. So yeah, that's how I would typically influence how you like play, or like how to change play style, or like how to get better at guns. It's just repetitive and just doing it more, especially if you struggle with it. And that's that's literally my notes, because my poor bad habits are I don't play with teammates enough. And so I've forced myself to play with teammates more. It's one of the weaknesses of my game. Switching my pistol. Yeah. There were situations where I should be actively thinking about it. Like, do I really want, if I'm right here, do I really want a rifle, or do I just want to shoot and lay them out? And those are the situations where if I'm like faster, like I don't have to think about it, I just kill them. Most of the time, I'm not fast enough. Yeah, you're no longer scroll wheel. Yeah, get those scroll wheels out of here. Kill people with a Shorty per game. And then I don't want to punish for trying though. If it works for you, it works for you. But I'll never tell people it's a punishment. Negative reinforcement feels kind of tough. Where instead just actively using it feels just like it's easier to manage. And you're not guaranteed Shorty kills. You'll learn more about the gun. In general, you'll get more skilled with the gun if you force yourself to play for kills. So you'll learn that this feels really awkward, but this doesn't. Or, for example, you have a rifle, you take this fight, then you hear noise close, you switch here, and this feels really strong. Custom and planning, ran it with Shorty. Yeah. Likely. Yeah, that's good play. Good play. That's one of the ones where you probably should. You just come, bump, bam. You can't jump like that anymore unless you're like really close. So like right here. Bop, bop. Can't do it. Jumping and gunning with the shotgun is a little more inconsistent since the nerf, but still good play. Especially like if I'm ever in a smoke with a shorty, that's just a kill. Unless I'm bad and I just whiff. But I'm in a smoke. Bow, bow. You can. Don't get me wrong, you still can. So let's say they're like right here. That kills. But there's an off chance, like check the spread. It cannot. But yeah, that's what I do. It's like you come in with shooting. Or even like jumping into a smoke is just really good. You think there's someone in here, you jump in. Bow, bow. God. Oh, that was a crack. All right. I think I covered every general idea about Sentinels. If there's any other specific questions you want answered, please feel free to drop them in there. I'd be glad to answer any specific Sentinel-based question whatsoever. But I think I covered pretty much everything that is really important. I think anything else that can come up in conversation won't be as important as playstyle and for specific maps. Okay, so here is my big brain tank on it. I think every Sentinel is playable on every map. Oh, I play Cypher on Icebox. I think every Sentinel is playable on every map, 100%. I think this is the most balanced map pool we've had. But let's say, for the sake of the argument, and this is, I'm talking ranked. In ranked, you can pick any agent. I think all agents are good on every map, with few exceptions. Some smokes I can't get behind, but hey, you know how it be. But yeah, I would say if you are looking for the strongest agents on the map, I'd say KJ first on Ascent. Then I would pick Cypher, Deadlock, then Chamber, and then finally Sage. Or Sage, then Chamber. For Bind, it is Cypher. I think Cypher's really strong here. Chamber's really strong here. Then I would put Sage. Then KJ. And then Deadlock. Yeah, it was Jogamo. Icebox. Yeah. Strength on Breeze. I mean, you know what it be. Cypher. Sage. KJ. Or actually, hold on. Chamber's above both of them. Then Deadlock. Icebox. KJ. Deadlock. Chamber. Sage. Cypher. And I think this is probably where I'd do it. Yeah. This looks better. The agent's strong. I believe Deadlock is very strong. But of course, it doesn't help that it's Angel and Joggermo, two beasts. Lotus. I think Lotus has changed quite a bit. I don't think KJ is the strongest on this map anymore, but she's definitely up there. Then you would have Chamber, Deadlock, Sage, Lotus, He's playing against Deadlock. Oh, no, that'd do it. Was it the... I didn't get to see any of the Navi games. I guess I'll have to go back and look. I saw the clips of Angel going off. That's all I got to see. Wait, I'll go and watch it tomorrow. I should be dead, but I do. It'll be early work. For Split, say it's Cypher, then Sage. Let's say KJ. Deadlock. Actually, I think Deadlock is better than KJ on this map. Chamber. I'll watch him for sure. Then Sunset. Unpopular opinion, but here you go. Bam. I think Deadlock is actually really good on this map. People just don't play it yet. Then I would put, oh, let's see. Yeah, you. Sure. Then sure. What I'm learning is I'm a Chamber hater. Chamber doesn't play like the rest of these. So it's hard to categorize him in the same vein as the rest. But I would say, like, the agent is just selfish and weak as a sentinel. But when the specific niche of a chamber is filled, he's just the best at it. And it's annoying. It's feast or famine with this agent. This agent is either incredibly powerful, too strong for the game, or too weak. And right now, he's too weak. I don't think there will ever be a balanced chamber. That's just how it's gonna go. But I like him in double sentinel. No, absolutely fucking not. If there's double senti, it's Deadlock plus one of the sentinels. Or it's a Bastion plus an info. Not info. And if it's like Bastion info, you want your info to be strong and your Bastion to be strong along with it. And this is just too weak. To take the place of it. That's the niche we're looking for. Because he's a duelist replacement. Duelist replacements, I'm gonna just link them real quick. Not you. You're not a replacement for a duelist. You could fit the bill. Duelist replacement. You fit the bill. There's an alarm. Chamber on Split. And it was CNED? Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, I guess I'm watching a lot of games tomorrow. Fortunately, they're all recorded so I can get them through quickly. I mean, CNED on Chamber makes sense. He really does like Jett and Chamber. That's just his hero pool, and he's insane. Was one of the highest rated players last year on Navi. It's wild. Shit, good god. And I'm sure, like, is that a Chamber thing or a CNED thing? It's likely a CNED thing, but I wouldn't put it past me for Chamber to still be good. It was Jett on map too? Yeah. Yeah, I know his hero pool. When they had him on Sage and shit, I was like, wait a damn minute. That's not what he plays. That's not why you pick CNED. CNED is a champion's winner because the dude can op unreally. And he can transfer that into multi-kills very quickly. There's no reason to have CNED on anything else. But yeah, there you go. Those are my picks for the agents on the map. I think in terms of like meta strength, relevance on the map. I mean, question segment's not done. I don't gotta go to bed till 45 or 10:45, not 45. That'd be 15 instead of an hour 15. No, I'm not gonna cover maps not in rotation. Fracture will play differently. there's been too many additions since the map pool left, so Haven and Fracture will be completely different when they come back. And Pearl. Yeah, Haven Fracture coming back. Yeah. With them coming back, if they have any changes or don't have any changes, it'll be interesting. They've wanted to change Haven for a while. I don't know what they're changing, but they will change the map. It's likely they will change something to do with A main or garage. Those are the two most sought after areas of the map that mattered the most. Yeah. Most people like Haven. But strategically, they have to keep it. They want every map to be relatively winnable from both positions. Hated B. I don't think they'll change B. Personally. Or if they do, they'll change backside. That's it. I don't think they'll get rid of like the walls, but they'll make it kind of weird. Yeah, Ascent is the most defense-sided map now since the split change. Yeah. Are they going to fix it? Hopefully. But they just haven't taken it out of the pool. Maybe they think it's a good map design-wise, but personally, it's like the attackers get literally fucking everything. They get all of this. It's not even fair. I do also want to look at it from a statistical perspective for pro play. That's how I like to do, like, sighted maps are typically pro play, and the majority of them are fucking defense. It's not even funny. Is that a lack of trying on the offense? No, not at all. As a matter of fact, most offenses has evolved in a state we have rarely seen. EG from last year, Loud this year, Paper Rex last year, and probably will be this year too. They had such aggressive ideas for Ascent to try to squeeze as many offense rounds they could because defense is covered. They don't need to run the standard comp. They can. The map orientation itself favors the attackers. So why just play like standard strong when we can actually, or if we are playing standard, we'll play it differently. And so that's like the whole like evolving idea of Ascent is like just squeeze how many attacker rounds can you get? Are you okay with 3? Could you get that 4th round? Some teams, hell, Loud got 6, and that was like a death sentence. That was like the other team already lost the map. They have 6 rounds on attack. This game is over. Or fuck it. Well, so one team got 8, and that shit was over. Like that game was over. Loud's current comp. I have to pull up VLR stats. Hold on. Bada boom, bada 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 boom, 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 boom. Sent, played 3. Really not. Yep, sure did. Yeah. It was against Leviathan. They scored 9 rounds on the attack. And then they got 4 on defense. I know, typically they are losing. Take me out. Yowza. All right. Yeah, I think I got one more question in me. I'll end it on like a... Oh, okay. Never mind. That's actually good. I can explain the Loud comp then. Give me a sec. Because I can explain this so easily. because I studied this comp because I was gonna force my friend. I guess I'll give him the shout out he deserves, J bro. He was going to bring me onto a team, and I said, okay, bring me another controller player, you and 2 initiators, and this is what we're gonna run. And so the idea behind this comp is the amount of pressure this gives is astounding. Yeah. So we count the flashes and the mollies on this team. It's actually absurd. So we'll count, the first column will be flashes. There's 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay. With our flashes, a total of 7, which is absolutely silly. Now let's count mollies. 2, 1, 1, 2. Or potentially 2. We'll say like 1/2, which looks like a half, which is not correct. We'll just say 1 for now. I guess 1 or 2. Yeah, you're quoting him? Yeah. The flashes are a good idea. But the mollies also allow this post plant. So what this would be is they would use a specific number of utility for an execute, because this would be a contact play. Pretty much every round they ran, it was contact. No matter where they went, they contacted. And when they got to an area they wanted to fight for, it was flushed with utility. Like, no team could stop it. It was absolutely, it was impossible to play against. Because there's just too much. The amount of utility that comes out of this comp is way too strong. Yeah, Breach is a kaboom. It's kaboom. Yeah. Yeah, we call it kaboom around here. But yeah, because that's like the whole, and the vision denial that Viper plus this Omen can give is absolutely insane. And so because we can deny vision, this walk up now becomes even more dangerous. And then instead of like meticulously clearing, we're just popping util. And then once we get in this post plant, it's so strong. Viper mollies, KO mollies for it. We need it. Like Phoenix hits a molly back. Never thought of it as a molly. It's area denial, so I would consider it one. It's a molly that goes through a wall. It's a wall molly. Just doesn't hit the ground. Which, of course, is... I mean, the definition of molly is like Molotov. So, the fact that it doesn't touch the ground is kind of weird, champ, but we stole that shit. Yeah. Thank you, Chronicle. Big priest. But yeah, this lineup just does so much. And so when I introduce this comp to people, it has ideas that are really good, and it does have counters. For example, there is no hard recon on this roster at all. And when there's no hard recon, you can do shit like play here, here, and here, and then once the smoke fades, you fight them before they set up their play, and you kill them. We saw Leviathan punish them a couple of times on Bind specifically when they're running the same comp because they have a setup phase. Yeah, it's literally, it's almost impossible because their flash defense, so their defense setup is actually really strong too. Because it's something silly like this. Actually, no, he plays over here like this. The defense was really silly because it was something akin to this, and it's like, how in the fuck are you taking this space? Like, how are you really taking this space? Like, surely. uh PRX comms, loud versus PRX games. Yeah, that was probably really annoying. They were probably really annoyed with that. Yeah, yeah. Alex is correct too. Because of how aggressive it is, and there's like no way for passive play here, which there is. I mean, less on the Viper can still make stuff happen. But it is predominantly aggressive, and they're like, don't let them get to this area. Absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, if the protocol gets to site, it's over. It's over for you. Just call it, just pack it up, go home. So I will say though, this is very high skill execution. This is a very high skill execution comp. I don't think any random schmuck team, and I was explaining this because I used to do the service where I would take a team of 5 under the impression that they want to go pro, and it's the most harsh coaching I'll do. First, and I've said this again, it's very hard to reach it, and the amount of prep that goes into it, it's different. It's different than ranked. We were playing a completely different game, and so when a 5-stack comes to me for coaching, I lay down the foundation, the groundwork, and I say, hey, look, all these cool ideas that you're gonna see from these top level teams are provided by analyst teams, like teams of like 5 to 7 people, coaches. The players are also putting input. You don't have that, and what I would recommend for a lot of teams that are not T1. Tier 2, I think ascension level teams, like teams that are ready to ascend out, can try like a lot of these ideas. For example, there was a idea on Bind that the Gentlemates actually pulled out, where it's this set, where they were running Fade, Yoru, Viper, Omen, and the Raze. And the amount of utility combination of how strong this comp is together is actually really good. Really good. Oh, I turned for my mic. I'm difficult. Yeah, I'm sorry. Because I was reading chat too. Hold on. Let me put you right here. There you go. Gotcha. I don't want to include this. This is merely the warning portion if you're a 5-stack team. Like these ideas are really hard to execute because there's a lot of combinations that matter. For example, on an A hit, let's say we're attacking. On an A hit, you have TP back here. Your Fade throws the lineup that lands top of this section right here. While that is happening, your Yoru flashes it too, so that they either break this and get flashed and killed by this, or they turn the flash and get revealed, and that's still a fight. This can also be coupled by an Omen blind this way to punish these guys trying to leave out. Plus Phase leads, like, this utility turns away noise, this utility turns away noise. Fade has good combos with these 2 agents, as well as you. Omen has great combos with this agent and Raze. It's just that every agent works for each other, and it's very good if you have set plays. But if you don't have the protocols, you don't have the set plays, you're basically just running a comp that is high execution level, and you don't know how to do it. This entire comp is evil, by the way. When I saw this live at the Ascension event, I was like, damn, what can you do? What can you fucking do? I actually just drew a bean. Like, what can you do? You can't do nothing. I mean, there are clearly ideas that they can get away from. Obviously, this composition has a little bit of weaknesses. A big one, lack of Sentinel. A lack of a dedicated Sentinel makes it really difficult to maintain free map control. Your Lurker Viper kind of has to put herself out there more often than not, and that feels kind of weak in comparison to having a Cypher or even a KJ. But at the highest level, you do need these protocols because there's a solid default that you do where we take Showers control with a Molly back here. We have the Fade Prowler into Showers. Yoru clone is also utilized. You don't have to commit the breakout here, but it's actually good if you do. Or it's even just like a Raze satchel play. I don't think it can be a double satchel because the Prowler's not as fast as like the Sky Flash. But these are like the protocols that get control of this area. And then you just recontrol, re-invoke. And if they don't re-clear, it feels really bad. But those are like some of the ideas that I throw together. This comp was performed by the Gentlemates, sorry, the EMEA Ascension winner. Rip Sky. Sky's still playable, she's just very weak. They played today. Oh boy. Oh no. Yeah, they were schooling the low level, like the Ascension level teams. I mean, Apex was also like the top of the top. They most of their players got signed by Liquid, I think. They played against BBL. Oh god. I'm not gonna spoil myself on that. I'll actually watch that series. I hope that they have more ideas like this. I mean, I'm telling you, there aren't a lot of combos in the game. Innately. But when there are combos and when they're thrown, it's so powerful. It's so good. When you have protocols in play for any sort of hit or anything, it just makes it really impossible to play against. And that's why, like, Sova KO is just such a good combo. Arrows thrown anywhere. Not on this map specifically, but arrow thrown, flash. You're either full blind or you break or you get revealed, or you have to just give up the space. It's so good. But yeah, that's your warning. If you ever bring a 5-stack, I will be the meanest person on the planet because I have a feeling like your intention is to go pro. That is my like thing on 5-stacking. Yeah, you won't see them on this map. Traditionally. You'll see more fades, geckos, breach, sure. Yeah, sky. But yeah, that's my warning. Hey, you're gonna feel no. First of all, it's kind of hard to get 5 stacks to agree on a coach. That's one of the big things. If even one person doesn't want the coaching, I never will give it. I don't give unsolicited coaching to the person. Now, if I'm watching you play from afar, like if you're streaming or something and I watch you, I'll like be yelling. I'll be yelling like Alex does when he's like watching Paper Rex. He's like, "No, what are you doing? What the fuck?" Ah, and he's like banging on his desk and shit. Just know that I'm doing that to an extent. Like I try not to be mean about it. But I will never give it to you unless you explicitly want it. Everyone who comes to this stream, I assume you guys want to get better at the game. You want to get coached. So that's like, I treat that with that mentality here. And yeah, you know. And the reason why I can't coach you guys to be pro is that individually, you guys are not good enough. That's just reality of the placement. Give me a map. Give me a map, Raven, real quick. What's a map that your team loves? Bind. Well, fuck, we're already on bind. What's your comp? What's your bind comp for me? I'll be nice because I know you, but what's your bind comp? All right. Fight Viper. Fade. Raise Cypher Brim. Okay. Okay. And what's your idea? Show me. Really shifting the meta. Yeah, go figure. So here's already a suggestion I'd give you. I would say please consider this swap. if you're already going to run the Fade in your comp and not the Gecko, and you're already running the Raze, you should commit to an Omen pick. I'm not going to tell you to go into that Yoru over the Cypher. Absolutely not. I think Cypher is actually pretty valid on the map. But I think the Brim is statistically weaker now than he has ever been. Specifically in this case. I think Brim is stronger if you're running a Gecko over this Fade. Brim will have a lot more like potential, and you need more Molly support because you're playing for the Molly win condition. Unfortunately. Yeah, and guess what? That's not good enough. You got to Fade one trick, and Brim is a comfort pick. That's not good enough. And I would already have sent you away. Which is actually... which, again, would be mean as hell. But with people having the aspirations to go pro, and they want an analysis/coach to work for them, I'm telling them that this is not enough. Another prerequisite you would have to bring me a playbook. And I guarantee you, most teams that I've spoken with do not have playbooks. And it's actually annoying because they treat it like ranked, so to speak. Or they'll treat these like an elevated ranked where they'll just focus more. And that's not good enough. If they don't show me full playbooks of the ideas and what they intend to do with it, then it's not good enough. In your example, that would be like the first thing I'd tell your team to switch that pick if you're going to run this, or you have to switch this one to Gecko. And like you said, this is impossible because this is a one trick and this is a one trick. To an extent. This is a comfort, but still. If a Brim player can't comfortably switch the Omen, that's... But let's say you guys dead set believe that this is the strongest comp. Let's say that you don't think that any of the other ideas are good in comparison to this one. Just fine. Fine opinion to have. I would ask for your playbook. And I'd try to see, and I'd put the playbook in situations against common strong level plays that aren't creative. I'd say I would put you not against like a Fnatic team. I'd put you against like a Koi, where their playbook is actually very simple, but it's consistent. Now, of course, at tier 1, it's not gonna that's not good enough. But then we'd find weaknesses in your sets and all that. I mean, Koi's catching... I'll give Koi a little shit. Dude, I'm mad at Koi, though. I said, look, Koi, you have the hardest banner in the game. Likely. The hardest player card. One of the best guns. You have to be good. Like, your set is too good for you to be bad. Please, if you become another winless team in the league... I'll be super disappointed. So far, they have not won a game, I don't think. Let me go to VLR. EMEA Stage 1. That is not their logo in the game, but sure. But yeah. They're mega negative. Who'd you face? Face Liquid. Ah, that'd do it. Played against KC. Well, yeah, that'd probably do it, huh? KC and Liquid. That's a styling. But yeah, if I were to build you a set, it would be... So this would be your default, where this goes through TP. It allows the Viper to play here. Your Cypher would play here too. Actually, I actually prefer Cypher on A. Personally, I think Cypher B... A lot of people play, but he's stronger on A. your Brim would also play A. Brim plays really strong in this area. And then your Fade and Raze have to play together. Whether you play that B or you play it A. It just depends. I think some rounds you want him over here, some rounds you want him over here. And then obviously if they're over here, Cypher's on the other side. It's sort of what you play. What do you play? Where's your general setup? Because I assume you do this. And then you play like, what, trap plays? Fade Raze short, contact with Roomba. For fight? Really? You fight for short? Okay. Brim you half fast rotate. Wait, we just give showers? Alright. You do this wall then? As well? So you throw this wall? Fight for short with nade siege. Okay, so we control this area. That wall, Viper, Cypher B. What setup? Because there's a good setup and there's not a good setup. If you're going to tell me you throw this cam, retake shower with wall if they hit shower. It's your full protocol. Okay. Okay. So I don't like your Brim. Okay, so even without, I'm not even gonna go into details, but I actually don't like this already. What your Brim's doing. I want your Brim to either be in this action, and so it's 3 players if you're intending to play it, because I don't want them playing like fast. If you're playing fast rotate anyway, just play with them and come short. Then these 2 players will double up long, and you have a wall to play around with, so it's stronger. Because this fast rotate doesn't do anything, we're just going to control this space anyway and have access to the teleport. And if they cut, whatever, we already guaranteed our retake play because we gave up showers. And so I would either push out with these guys if we're intending to control this space and threaten this like fast flank, or threaten any sort of play there, or you threaten this fast TP. Because otherwise, if you're playing 3 here, he can't be lamps. The Brim can't be lamps. This Brim has to be showers. Or more predominantly, it's going to typically be your Raze. Sometimes your Fade. But there should be a level of control. If you're going to play him U-Haul, back truck, or even over here, you want it to be something like this, where we hold more control towards Sour. Strong side, and this is just general contortion. Strong side should be able to contest both short or have access to fight for both short and the extremity. Whereas weak side can't fight for both because this is one and this is one. And so you can't do that. It's too weak. And so what weak side has to do is they'll typically double up together. And they don't always have to do it, but it's a general rule of thumb that they'll double up either long or short, just depending on what space they find controllable. So let's say if you're... Yeah, I prior showers over short because of the amount of plays that are actually afforded to you. Showers is way too strong because this walkout into this fight is way too difficult. Short is one of the hardest scaling areas in the game. If you've ever played a ranked game where you always go 5 short and you lose every round, it should feel intuitive to you why. Because this area is very strong to like nestle into. It's really advantageous for the defenders to fight. Like even these fights are really good for them. This fight is really good. It's only really bad if they get into these off angles and hold. But even then, you're holding an off angle on site where then this wrap is really strong if it occurs. Like if you're just giving up all of showers, it's you're inviting a lot of potential disaster as an attacker. I would say the most important parts of the map to control are belong and showers. Like the extremities are super important, very important. And I would say it's less important to have this area, but it's really important to get here. And that's why agents that have a jump toolkit to get into here really quickly, i.e. Raze and Yoru, are really good on this map because they can threaten this area very quickly without having to scavenge this death trap of an area that's A short. That would be the first thing if I had to like switch up how you play. Or if you're like doing this, you would switch up like this. And then you would play the trap play through TP. And then your Cypher would have control of showers. However you'd want that to occur. Personally, I like throwing it's really, you can't really show off your trips here, but you would like throw these ones. And so you would effectively contain shower, but it's still kind of annoying. It's best in case for when you do a trap play. And if you kill the short player and they TP, the Cypher has an advantage fight if we're positioned like in these cases with this in a cage. And just to make it seem that I'm not just pulling this out of my ass, let me go find a pro bind VOD. Don't play me. Okay. You got a favorite team? Actually, I need them to be playing the comp. Here, I have to go to VLR first. Here, we'll say... Okay, I think I have to go matches, huh? Group stage. We play bind. We didn't. We play bind. I don't remember everyone. We did. Okay. Comp we play. We did not play the comp, so we don't look at it. I don't think we play bind here. Nope. Those teams don't play it. Yeah, that's one of the big Ooh, bind. Yeah, you're not gonna see it. Yeah, because you'll see they even play the harbor, but that's like such an America's thing to run the harbor. 100 Thieves is the closest you'll find. 100 Thieves is the closest you'll find. What do they run instead? They run instead of the Cypher, they run the Gecko. Close, but no cigar. That makes sense though. I can see this makes sense to me. Allows you to get early information that's not breakable. And you can also fight off that early aggression instead of the cam. Doesn't take you out of the game. Well, let's see it. G2 crew, you play bind? You didn't. And then we get into the... Everything else will just be repeats. Did EG play it? I think the closest would be 100 Thieves. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of bind games. So let's say we'll watch 100 Thieves versus Leviathan.
forcing Leviathan. Anytime I get to play
HP with Boostio.
Okay. I'm gonna explain why they do certain plays fully. Yeah, and I'll just do it very quickly, just to give you an idea of what this looks like in terms of how we like break down what you guys are doing. And I'm not gonna let the casters like convey it. And so the idea here is kind of the same. And they actually run what they think is good, is a fast rotate on Boostio. And this is a very Boostio-esque call, where he wants to be in the action as much as possible, and his kid's very tailored for it. But this pistol round is not going to be the standard set. I guarantee this pistol from Lev is just going to be a contact up A. Based on their formation, they're giving up showers. They want to take full lamps control. And the idea is they're not even going to try to go sight. Like, these players are going to stay back. They don't want to come into this area because this area is inevitably just a death trap. It's so hard to clear and it's unnecessary. And so what they're going to do is they're going to take lamps early. Yeah. And they're, instead of looking to come out this way, they're more willing, and you should be too, to come out and fight backside with like utility support from your team. And at the end of the day, we have a player late in showers. Because when you don't go anyone short, or when you go all players short, the late showers play is strong. Because you can catch this one guy out. It turns into a 50-50, which is kind of not good, but it's as good as it's going to be. Once they realize they pull rotations, they'll TP. TPing is just strong. Yeah, and that's the weakness of that play, where they had to face a 50-50 and they lost it. So now they're at the disadvantage. And they're still running into Bang. And Bang's good for it. Most of the time, he's good for it. And so strategically, now you can't call this game. Now there's no play. There's no set play. Now we're entering, are you good at the game? What's your setup? Like post-plant setups. There's no prep for EU. There's no prep for Boostio. Because this round is like not repeatable. And so they have to make an assumption based off who's alive and like all the information they have so far to make a decision. And the setup that they're going for, and I guarantee it, they're not always going to do this setup, is they're currently going to walk elbow and probably wrap. I remembered watching this game, but I don't remember all the details. But it'd be very strong if they wrapped here. They end up doing it, catching the one. And because they can still fight for the spike from this position based on how they planted, it's really good to go for this walk and then come back after they've gained like what they wanted. They have their man advantage. EU's one. EU's going to try to get ahead of this because it's very likely they'll come this way. And Colmus is ready for him. And so let's break down this one where they started with this area. They're going to default and they're going to try to sell that they're attempting to do the same play when they come this way. Because they don't have a cipher, there's no cam here, there's no cam here, and there's no cam here. So they can't be sure that they're committing to this play. And so this pressure, this like amassed pressure coming this way will force this rotation back, and it'll put doubt in their minds. They'll still anchor, don't get me wrong. But 1 versus 3 is not good odds. I do not give you good odds for that. And if you wanted more concrete as to if this was good or not, you'll see a lot of teams, a duelist initiator will come this way and take control early of showers. Because it's just such a hassle to control. You had to watch the game afterwards? Yeah, it was one of them. Yeah, and King was the one who came up here too. They put a player there as well. And because they anticipate, and this is like a higher level idea, because if you have economic advantage, you want to play more passive. Whereas, and the inverse is true. If you're at a disadvantage, you want to get more aggressive. And so, because of this pressure, this aggressive pressure has pulled a more aggressive response from 100 Thieves, and Leviathan are ready for it. As you may have noticed, there's no way, just delete it. As you may have noticed, they're actually just waiting for this line to push up. And I think they'll get the engagement and just kill one or two. Yeah, Aspas kills one. Boostio is willing to just probably check it soon. Yeah, and immediately after that, they recognized it and they get aggressive on the one player that's alone. Yeah, Boostio gets immaculate timing, but now we're in post-plant. And now, because we're in post-plant, with this amount of numbers alive, it's very likely that a couple of key spots will be in contention because they're strong. And then, unfortunately, Calm is like a wildcard factor for this team. He'll be anywhere. That's just how he plays. That's why he's my GOAT. But it's going to be very difficult for them to kind of spot. And eventually they get into this, like, Boostio just kills one. Then he killed two here. No, he doesn't. But still, the idea is just really good. And they'll flood out with their util. They try to collapse into the play. They get ahead of it, and there's no one ready to even commit onto the spike. They couldn't even get onto it. And this will be the last round we watch. They have a tech pause, sure. Fortunately, I can skip past time. King is your king. That's funny. But yeah, Calm is my GOAT. I love Calm. Can't even remember that tech pause being so long. How is it? Here, I'll show you my sin. So I am an EG fan. I've been an EG fan for a long time. I love the coaching staff. I loved the core roster, like Jogamo, Boostio, Calm. I loved all those guys. Reformed, Apoth. Those are my boys. Of course, then we signed Ethan, BCJ, Demon 1, whatever. I like those guys too. Don't get me wrong. And so I fell in love with those players. Calm specifically for a while. But then, you know, things happened, and so you just lose. But King's good. King will be around for a while. I wish him all the best success for Leviathan. I mean, of course, Calm's there too, so. Can kick rocks. I mean, sure. I mean, I'm... Alright. Okay, alright. Yeah, go. Dude, oh, I hate it. I got you. I mean, when you have a personality like that, it's definitely easy to hate. Or to have haters and to have lovers. A personality like that, like Spurs, polarizing opinions of him. So I'm not surprised that people hate him. Matter of fact, I won't even defend him. But I like him. Okay. But let's not skip ahead. And so, if you recall from the first round, now we're the one on the economic disadvantage, and we only are so by 2 guns, which is kind of annoying. It could have been more, but we died, so it's whatever. We lost one more person than we probably should have. And so, this will look very similar, where we have a very similar setup, where we're going to threaten this pressure. But now we have 2 people in the lane, instead of 1. And so, what happens is we're going to force this pressure again. Wall's going to come up. We're going to dog, once we can walk up close. Force them out. And of course, Austin is ahead of the play. This is Valorant. Like, they're gonna make adjustments to your plays. But so you're still going to see the same kind of idea where they're gonna fight and play, and even Cryo gets ahead of Aspas as well, because they read this play because they've done it before. They knew the setup, and once they heard the dog, they had a brief idea of what was going on. And you'll note. And now we're in mid-round. Now everything's a possibility. But they believe that going late showers here is really strong. Because it's likely that the more inactive they get on this side of the map, the more wary they have to be of them on this side of the map. But most teams, when they have a number advantage, actually won't bite. They would rather hold the site than play retake. Most of the time. Some teams actually love retake. Heretics is one of those teams who just have such a structured retake. It's just really, really impossible. Yeah, they go 1 for 1, which is not good enough for the attackers, and they just die because they got ahead of the play. So yeah, that's like the level. We went 3 rounds, and the amount of like concepts and like this tug of war that we are seeing between the two ideas of the teams is already full swing. And these are the kind of things you look for when you're like reviewing 5-stack teams. And so that's why I'll typically not do them. But yeah. Just some ideas to pick apart in your head. Something to try. But that does it for today. I got 30 minutes and I have to head to bed because I have to work tomorrow. So I am going to dip out. I want to wish everyone... Yeah, sorry, no book club. I'm tired. I would continue Ishmael tonight, but... What can you do? What can you do? Also noticed my camera just kept... Stop that. Want to give people the arm. I didn't even get to play, but yeah. I wish everyone a good luck on the climb. Have a good night. A good weekend. I'll try my best to enjoy as well. But yeah. Catch you all later. Bye-bye.